Antonio! What is going on, South Texas? This is the Blitz on 1250 AM, 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champion, joined by Quinn Hudson, our reigning Rock the Mic champ. We are filling in today for Rob Thompson and Jason Minix, taking Memorial Day off. Quinn, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. It's exciting Memorial Day, relaxing. Had a little barbecue, a little R&R, my feet up, and still watching sports. So shout out to all of our military men and women out there, and paying our respects to those who were willing to lay their life on the line and sacrifice for the freedoms we have today.
Oh, most definitely. Now, Memorial Day, for those of y'all who don't know, honors the brave men and women who died in the line of combat, who died while serving active duty in the military. And this is Military City, USA. We're really close to the Fort Sam Houston Cemetery, so I know a lot of families have been visiting. I know it's not Veterans Day, but thank a veteran. It's always a good time, but especially these types of holidays, because many families have given the ultimate sacrifice, lost a child, lost a son, a brother, a father. So not only honor them, but honor those families who also gave a sacrifice as well. Again, welcome to the Blitz. We're going from 4 to 7. For those of y'all who don't know us, Quinn and I actually host a show on Sunday morning from 11 to 1 called the Sunday Sports Grill. And, Quinn is the reigning Rock the Mic champ. I won Rock the Mic back in 2019. So we're playing substitute teacher today. We have a lot to talk about today. Whole heck of a lot to talk about today. But as you mentioned, it is Memorial Day. You spent some time with family. I spent time with family as well. I went to the movies and I saw one of the best movies I've seen in years. And Quinn, for those of all who listen to the Sunday Sports Grill, he makes fun of my movie choices.
Or lack thereof.
There you go. But man, I saw Cruella. And Cruella was out freaking standing.
So it delivered.
Oh, Emma Stone cannot give a bad performance. Ever since she was Jules in Superbad, and I know you love Superbad, one of your favorite movies.
Yes.
She has consistently, over the past 15 years, given performance after performance after performance that are all A's and A pluses.
With the exception of Spider-Man 3, but go on.
Okay, yeah, but easy A. Was a great movie. Dramatic performances as well. I would go on and say that right now, Emma Stone is one of the most bankable actresses right now, because when does she give a bad performance? She's like the female Harrison Ford.
Man, but now I probably would give that to Charlize Theron, actually. I'd probably go that more Harrison Ford, but I will say Emma Stone has delivered. She absolutely has.
I think she is America's sweetheart, and probably we haven't known that for a while, but she has been that for probably about 10 years. Back in the day, it was like Julia Roberts, and then it was Meg Ryan, and then for a while there, it was, other people. Meg Ryan held that title for a while, right? America's sweetheart. And Reese Witherspoon was probably one for a while, but I think that Emma Stone is America's sweetheart.
You're going to put her ahead of Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes. And I love Jennifer Lawrence. Silver Linings Playbook is one of my favorite movies. I saw Hunger Games again yesterday. Great. She's phenomenal in everything that she does as well. But I think personality-wise, she's a little bit rough around the edges, although I do like it. She has a dark humor to herself. I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's fantastic. But I think Emma Stone is that one actress there that you kind of want to have a beer with. You kind of want to invite her to a house party, because she seems like she would be super cool just to kind of be with.
I like her smoker's voice.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice. Kind of cool.
Cruella, baby. That was
I gotta check it out then. I'm glad
it was great. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Cruella is not only at the theaters right now, but it's also on HBO Max. And I honestly think that if I'd seen it on HBO Max, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much, because there's so many distractions from cell phones, people going in and out of the room. Let me go get something to eat, and things like that. But at the theater, Cruella was fantastic, amazing. And I went on Rotten Tomatoes to see who gave it bad reviews, because right now, Rotten Tomatoes wise, it's like at 70%. And I'm like, who are these 30% of idiots out there? And their complaints had nothing to do with the movie. They're like, why do we need a backstory to Cruella? And I'm there going, well, we didn't need a backstory to the Joker either, but that won a lot of Oscars.
Yeah, we get origin stories to everything. We even got an
Yeah.
origin story to King Kong. It's all good.
Exactly. And I'm going to be honest with you, my wife and I did not like Joker. We basically walked out on that movie. It was about 2 hours of slow-mo him laughing and dancing. And it just didn't move forward. It was dark, and I can see the brilliance in part of it. It just wasn't for us. But the thing about Cruella was that it was smartly written. There's great one-liners in it, and for a movie that's 2 hours and 10 minutes long, there was no lulls. It kind of just kept going very well. Absolutely loved it.
That's good.
Absolutely loved it. Welcome to the Blitz. We're going from 4 to 7. Again, Quinn and I host the Sunday Sports Grill on Sunday mornings, and what we like doing is talking a lot of sports, a lot of pop culture, a lot of movies and music. Later on, we'll be talking about more movies, the greatest war movies of all time. People are already asking us or telling us what they think on Twitter. You can reach out to us, give us your opinion. Our Kielbasa Bacon phone lines is 656 ESPN. Again, that's 656 ESPN. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. My handle's at 210 Fantasy God. Quinn is at Quinn Hudson. We're also on Facebook Live right now. We'd be happy to read your comments as well. Again, everyone, happy Memorial Day. Again, thank a veteran. Thank those families who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Man, it's nice to kind of take a day to reflect. Take a day to reflect. But what are we going to be talking about today? Well, we're going to be talking about, obviously, the Spurs. There's a mock drafts that are coming out, and now there's some moving and shaking there. Should the Spurs move up in the draft? I want to talk about that. NBA playoffs. The Western Conference has a chance of every single series going 2-2. I think I'm very fascinated about that. Going to go over that as well. Julio Jones later on. Where is he going to land? There's some rumblings going on, and possibly create a trio that is better than the Cowboys trio. And I'm going to have to poke at the bear there a little bit to see if that's exactly what you think. But let's get going. First topic of the day. Quinn Hudson's Dallas Mavericks. Okay, a week ago, Quinn Hudson was floating on air, man. He was on a cloud, so excited that the Mavericks stole game one, stole home court, and oh my God, the trash that he was talking after the Mavericks won both games in LA against Kawhi and the Clippers. But now it is back tied at 2-2 after the Clippers just absolutely destroyed the Mavericks last night. Quinn, are your Dallas Mavericks toast?
It's midnight Cinderella. It is midnight Cinderella, and the ball has come to a close, and it's time to take our one slipper and get out of here. I'm going to ride with my Mavericks to the end. They're going to have to lose 4 games for me to concede the series. But full disclosure, I felt like the Los Angeles Clippers were the best team in the West. I believe everybody healthy. I believe the Clippers, the total team unit, along with Kawhi and the playoff Paul George, would be able to dismount the defending champion Lakers. They also could take on the Murray-less Nuggets and the new exciting Phoenix Suns. I felt like the Clippers had that. Luka showed that he could put the team on his back and do that, and he still demonstrated that. Even in Game 3 when they lost, he had 44 points, and they still lost. He doesn't have a legit number 2. So the Mavericks are unmatched. And I hate to say, Rick Carlisle's being outcoached, both on the offense and defensive end. They've come up with a scheme to kind of harness Luka Doncic and force the ball outwardly. Last night they had to use Boban to show Porzingis what it looks like when a 7-footer goes in the paint, because they had Nick Batum playing at the 5, and instead of Porzingis being the dominant force that he could be in the paint, he allowed Nick Batum to make it, playing behind him, forcing him to shoot these step away, fall away, Dirk-like jumpers, instead of really imposing his will. Boban just gets under the goal and says, look, I'm just going to turn and I'm just going to, muscle my way to the rim in a clumsy way because I'm bigger than you. But then on the other end, we got Boban in the paint and they're moving the ball around. They're playing 5 out. Basically what the Clippers are doing is they're playing iso ball, and they're isolating. They're going at, they're going at Keebler. They're going at whoever our big is. And so right now we're in trouble. Luka also being hurt doesn't help, But right now, they've exploited it. Paul George has come to life. Kawhi is knowing no one can stop him, and that's the problem. And I fear what's happening in Game 5.
Paul George has come to life. Now, if you were listening to the Sunday Sports Grill yesterday, you compared him to Chris Bosh. You were saying he is not a legit number 2. He's a number 3 at best. You want to take those words back?
No, I don't, because I think what he demonstrated yesterday is why so many people are frustrated with Paul George. You can't bank that that's the version you're going to get through the totality of the playoffs. He has the ability, he has the background, he's had those type of performances. But will he do it in a 7-game series? I say no. So yes, yesterday he was Paul George. Who knows? Game 5 back in Los Angeles, he could be Chris Bosh in the corner again.
Do you know what yesterday's game reminded me of?
What?
It reminded me of when I played 7th and 8th grade basketball. Okay. We would do this thing before the game started to warm up. We'd do layup lines, just go in, lay it in, with no defender there. Just practice your layups. And that's exactly what the Clippers did yesterday. They just practiced. It was a layup drill. Every other play was a layup drill. It was amazing seeing how porous that defense was. And I don't know how much of this is because of Doncic's injury, because the first 2 games, he looked better than Kawhi. And yesterday, he looked deflated. He looked like he lost some spirit out there because in game 3, which they lost, he was fired up. He was arguing with officials. He was arguing with other players. He was all fired up. And yesterday, he looked defeated. And the most odd stat for somebody who's an MVP caliber type player is that right now, through 4 games in this series, he is shooting worse from the free throw line than he is from the actual floor, than he is from the 3-point line. He has a better accuracy from the 3-point line while being defended than he does making a free throw. Yesterday, he was 0 for 5. He's shooting at 40% for the series, just ridiculously bad. Kawhi had 29 points on 11 of 15 shooting. I'd say 8 of those 11 shots were actual layups or dunks. You mentioned Batum was put in the lineup, playing a little bit of small ball. It changed things up because whenever you play a series, it's all about the adjustments. And hopefully the Mavericks, for your sake, have the ability to adjust. Rondo played big yesterday.
He did.
PG-13 also played very well. It's funny because you look at his shooting stats, it doesn't look like he had a good game. It's just the shots that he made came at the right time for that team. And at no point did it look like the Mavericks were going to be catching up. But Game 5 coming up. I know you're saying that you're going to ride or die with him, but I mean,
This is the game.
This is the game right here.
Yeah, Game 5 undoubtedly is it. If the Mavericks are going to demonstrate, because no home team has won a game yet, so that's the feather in the Mavericks cap. We've gone there. We've won 2 games. They're going to have to reset. Hopefully, I mean, the problem with Luka Doncic is he's had free throw woes since he's been a rookie. Now they're coming back there. Hopefully his neck is not going to be so much of a problem. He was laboring out there last night. But we'll see where they go from there. But yeah, this is the winner of Game 5 is going to win this series.
If there is anything good about what's going on for the Mavericks right now, if they're going to have any optimism, is that they have 2 days off. Next game's not till Wednesday night, which means that Luka can rest and it's a West Coast game. He has the ability to rest for 72 hours, maybe get back to his normal self, much like Chris Paul has gotten back to his normal self. When we come back, are the Los Angeles Lakers? Is LeBron James? Are they in trouble? We're going to be talking about that. And at 4:45, what are the best war movies that we've ever seen? This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're always on the go at ESPNSA.com.
The NBA playoffs are on ESPN San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. Online at mellowmushroom.com. From the play-in to the finals, we've got you covered. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
You know, nobody plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested and you want to get out of jail fast because you do, best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. You can call 210
Don't forget, red button. Get going.
Are we still on the same stream?
Have no idea.
Summer, it's almost here, but Memorial Day savings are already at the Home Depot. In-store, online, store-wide. Like 5 bags of garden fresh mulch for just $10. Save on everything to a fresh coat of paint. From power tools to ceiling fans. Ready, set, summer. Memorial Day savings, here now, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limit 75 bags per customer. Color selection varies by store. While supplies last, continental U.S. only.
O'Reilly.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the third time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to the Blitz on 1250 ESPN 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com. My name is Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champ. Joined by Quinn Hudson today. We're filling in for Rob and Jason. They're taking Memorial Day off. Welcome to the show. Again, we go from 4 to 7, talking sports, pop culture, some movie talk in the future. Man, it's a good time, baby. You know what's a good time? It's a good time to go on to ESPN SA's website. Why? Because no ties for Dad this year. Give him what he really wants. Cash money. That's right. Score $1,000 for Father's Day for your dad. Register now at ESPNSA.com. That's it. It's that simple. So put the ties and socks away this year and score Dad some cash for Father's Day. ESPN San Antonio's $1,000 for Dad giveaway. $1,000, not bad. Now, Quinn, you're a girl dad just like me.
Yes.
What do you want for Father's Day?
Oh man, I'm easy. Some ribs, some barbecue. Makes it easy for me. I'm all stocked up on cologne. So I just pick a restaurant probably of choice, and we'll all just get together and get together. So I'm more of a foodie person. I like food. Bring me something you know I love to eat on Father's Day, and let my feet be up. It'd be good.
Oh man, I am trying to drop some serious hints at my wife right now.
Yep.
My wife doesn't listen to the show. Okay. I'm even when I was doing this show from home and she's cooking like 2 rooms next to me.
Yeah.
She wasn't paying attention.
She hears you
wasn't listening.
talk all the time. She hears you talk all the time.
Exactly. And she's not a sports fan, right? But Selena, baby, if you're listening right now, or if any of my family is listening right now, drop the hint to my wife that I want some Jordan Spades in size 10.5. They dropped last week. I am not a sneakerhead. I am not somebody to try to buy something the second it comes out, but I tried for an hour. I lost an hour out of my life trying to buy these shoes. Now, they're poker-themed shoes. They're white with a lot of red trim on it. One size says K for king. The other size says Q for queen. It has a spade on it. Oh, my God, it looks so nice. And I never want sneakers. But again, Selena, if you're listening, size 10.5. Okay, I don't care if you have to go to eBay. Pay double the amount. I'm fine.
Maybe you're gonna have to start doing a little fake talk in your sleep where you just start saying it out loud while you're sleeping at night.
I know. I've been doing the whole babe. I cannot believe I couldn't get those shoes. Couldn't believe it. I'm so frustrated. I saw it on eBay, but I don't know. I'm doing that right now.
It might come through for you then. Speak it into existence, man. It'll come through.
Oh man, you want to speak into existence?
What's that?
LeBron James losing in the first round. That's what I want to speak into existence because right now, the Phoenix Suns tied it up with the Lakers 2-2 yesterday. Man, it was just looking like the Lakers were just going to steamroll their way into the second round, get that 7-2 upset. Everything was looking good, but all of a sudden, Chris Paul looked healthy. All of a sudden, Anthony Davis goes down with a groin injury and is now day-to-day. Quinn, if you had to say right now who's going to win this series, who's it going to be?
I'm going to say Phoenix. If I had to say, I actually thought if CP3 could stay healthy, I felt like Phoenix Suns had an opportunity to actually win this series outright. I believe they had everything. They got the perimeter shooting. They had a quality big, and they have a legit point guard that can run the whole offense, and a dead-eye sniper in Booker. So I felt like they had everything. Now, with Anthony Davis being dinged up, and I have no doubt he's going to come trying to play in this next game, not 100%. I believe this is going to be the Achilles heel to the Lakers. They've been top heavy all year, even when they haven't been injured. They have not brought out Kuzma, Schroeder, Matthews. All of these players have had more significant roles with other teams. They come to the LeBron wagon train of championships, and they acquiesce to play with and let Anthony Davis and LeBron show, and they have not been integral parts of contributors on the offensive end. Harold can't even get on the floor, which is crazy because Harold was a problem when he was a Clipper, when he was playing. Now all of a sudden he's lost on the end of the bench behind Drummond and Gasol and Anthony Davis and LeBron, respectively. So now all of a sudden you're going to be asking these players to do more, to contribute more in ways you haven't asked them all year long. I think that's going to be a problem because Phoenix is who they've been all season, going back to the bubble of last year. So I do believe that absolutely they're in trouble. And this is a little nugget here that people don't want to talk about deep down in parties. You don't want to talk about this. The year before Anthony Davis came to the Lakers didn't make the playoffs with LeBron. And before you say LeBron was injured and he missed 20-something games, so did KD with the Nets. And they load managed Kawhi with Toronto that same year. So the fact that they make the playoffs speaks volumes to what it looks like when LeBron doesn't feel like he has all his horses to run. And I think the Lakers are absolutely in trouble.
Yeah, Davis's injury makes them in trouble. If the Lakers had simply just lost that game and it was 2-2 going back to Phoenix and Davis was healthy, I'd still say that it was going to be the Lakers. But I think that Davis injury, depending on how bad it is going to determine whether or not the Lakers advance. And yes, LeBron can carry a team, but can he carry a team 2 out of 3 games against a team that is so deep like the Suns are, and on the road 2 of the next 3 games? I think it's going to be very difficult. And I'm thinking back to about 3 or 4 months ago when the All-Star selections were released, and everyone in San Antonio was upset about DeMar DeRozan not making the All-Star team. And at the time, everyone was like, man, why is Chris Paul an All-Star this year? And the thing about Chris Paul was, it was one of those things where his stats were down, and you're just looking and he goes, oh, well, he's averaging 15, 16 points a game. He's averaged more in his life. He's averaging 8 or 9 assists a game. He's averaged 10 or 12 before. Why is he an All-Star this year? And I think now we're seeing it because the Suns, as the 2 seed, cannot function without him being on the court healthy. And part of me has been, I've been kind of a Chris Paul hater for a long, long time. Gonna be honest with you, because as a Tony Parker fan, as a Spurs fan, he gets that thing where everyone calls him the greatest point guard of the last 10, 15, 20 years. And I'm there going, yeah, but count Tony Parker's rings. Count them, right? Which career would he rather have? So in my mind, I've been thinking to myself, it'd be so nice if Chris Paul never got a ring. But I'm kind of coming around a little bit. Where I'm like, okay, I'd be okay if Chris Paul makes it. And now my 8-year-old daughter is a fan of Chris Paul because he showed up on a TV show on Nickelodeon. And now she's like, oh, that's that guy from the show.
Yeah.
So, man, who do I hate more, LeBron or CP3? The answer is LeBron. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm rooting for the Suns. I think that, now that it's back at home court, now that they have that advantage, and now, you're talking about how Anthony Davis is there's no way he's not going to get back on the court. That's what he said before this last game. And now he's even doubly injured, right?
Yeah.
And man, I think that Lakers team is going down, and they'll be bounced from the playoffs this week.
When you really look at the entire season, this is coming to fruition. Everyone thought maybe they're just resting them out. They're going to play they're going to come back in the playoffs healthy and be able to run. And you saw LeBron being sat out, and you saw Anthony Davis being sat out, and you felt like they're going to do it. But this still is a contact sport, and injuries do happen. And when you saw how he hurt his groin, I don't see how that turns around quickly. Even if he gets a shot and comes out there and tries to play it out, he's not going to have that same athleticism that he needs, that separates him, that becomes that force in the paint, because he stopped loving his jump shot and started getting in the paint and becoming a force. That's what turned the series for the Lakers against the Phoenix Suns. And I don't think he's going to be able to be that player, and they're going to be a problem. They're going to have trouble right now, and Phoenix knows it.
You know, LeBron's legacy, kind of weird for it to be on the line on a first round series, man, because we talk about, is he the GOAT? You know, Jordan, is Jordan the GOAT? Well, we both believe that Kareem is, but let's just go ahead and say that we're talking about LeBron and Jordan. I don't remember Jordan losing a lot of first round series.
No.
And this has been something that has happened to LeBron in the past, and it can happen again.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, the reason why we say Kareem is for the very fact that at the age of 38, he was a finals MVP. At the age of 38, Kareem was that. So when you look at LeBron without AD and he gets you 25 and 12 in a game where he has to be that guy, this is where you need LeBron. When you saw Jordan getting 50, 60 points with nobody else on the team, he was doing everything he could, even if you beat him. I don't think LeBron gives you that when he doesn't feel like he has everything in the chamber to go with it. You've seen it against the Celtics when he was with Cleveland. You saw it the first time when he lost to the Dallas Mavericks, and you're seeing it now when they feel like he's overmatched. It's just a different LeBron than when he feels confident.
You know, Anthony Davis's day-to-day. Game 5 is Tuesday at 9 p.m. in Phoenix. He's day-to-day, but man, in 4 days, they could be gone. Tonight, there's 2 games in the NBA playoffs. The Sixers try to sweep the Washington Wizards, and the Grizzlies try to even up the series against the Jazz in Game 4. Quickly, who you got tonight?
Oh, man, this is the end for the Wizards for sure. And I actually believe the return of Donovan Mitchell makes Utah just too much. They now have everything. They've got the pieces. They've got the swing men. They can switch off. They've got the quality bigs. Gobert seems to be, you know, rejuvenated. And I do believe I've got Utah and I've got Philly closing it out tonight.
Yeah, I have Philly closing it out tonight as well. But I'm going to take Memphis because that's a very scrappy team. I just think it's going to be a long series. I think the Jazz are going to pull it out ultimately, probably in about 6 games. But I'm going to take the Grizzlies because they're feisty and they're undermanned, undermatched. They are not as good as the Jazz. The Jazz have shooters all over the place, but you live by the 3, you die by the 3. And I think the Grizzlies have a chance to pull out today and tie it up at 2-2. But ultimately, I think the Jazz are going to win. The better team will win. Okay. Hey, when we come back, a very fascinating story. I love this story. It's about one of tennis's biggest up-and-coming stars who was just withdrawn from a major tournament, the French Open today, just withdrew. And the reasons behind it are just so incredibly difficult to understand. We're going to be talking about that. And at 4:45, go over the greatest war movies we've ever seen. This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
This is Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers Baseball, brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
Your home for the Texas Rangers, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
You know, injuries do happen. So if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to call Dr. David Espinosa over at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Because obviously, if you've hurt yourself, you don't want to wait. You want to get in and see a doc. Now, while Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, if surgery is needed, they're going to make sure you're getting to the specialist that can take care of your injury. And they're fantastic at what they do. At TSAOG Orthopedics, they do have telemedicine services that are available. Go to TSAOG.com to learn more about that. There is no reason for you to be in pain. Whether you've hurt yourself exercising, lifting something, thrown out your back, slip, fall, car accident, if you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com or call 210-804-5490, 804-5490.
Hurt in an accident and dealing with a wrecked car? Thomas J. Henry will help you get a rental car while we work on your case. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Ty Pennington with Guaranteed Rate. When building a house, you have to get the math exactly right. Something feel off center? Check the math. Same thing with your mortgage. How much could you save switching from a 30 to a 15-year fixed? Check the math. You won't believe how much you could save on interest payments. Let's just say it's some good math. Refi at rate.com. That's rate.com.
Savings of any vary, subject to credit approval. Call 866-934-7283 for cost information. Equal housing lender. NMLS ID 2611 and MLSConsumerAccess.org.
Panera favorites are hot and ready to serve for dinner. Taste our creamy mac and cheese served in a crispy bread bowl. Or the classic bacon turkey Bravo featuring our signature sauce. How about our new mouth-watering Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza? These and other favorites are waiting for you. Order dinner tonight for delivery or pickup. Only at Panera. Availability and pricing may vary.
It's time for some straight talk. You've got real work to do, but everyone's sucking up the free Wi-Fi faster than a Mocha Choco double frap on ice. So be your own hotspot. Now with Straight Talk Wireless, get 10 gigs of hotspot data with the ultimate unlimited plan. Just $55 a month on America's largest and most dependable networks. You don't have to find a hotspot. You are the hotspot. Straight Talk Wireless.
No contract, no compromise.
Compatible device required. See straighttalk.com.
It's all about getting the most out of summer. And with Certified Refurbished from eBay, you can enjoy 100% of summer with up to 50% savings on top brands, plus a 15% off coupon through Memorial Day. So tackle your to-do list and break out the playlist with like new products from the brands you love. We're talking Bose, Works, iRobot, and more, all at up to 50% savings. And now through Memorial Day, get an extra 15% off coupon to save even more with Certified Refurbished. Shop Memorial Day savings at eBay today.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you can pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
This will be the only time you want to wake up with a hangover, Saturday morning hangover. James Pledger, Jack Thompson. Every Saturday morning from 9 to 11, watch it online on our Facebook and YouTube pages or at espnsa.com. I'm Quinn Hudson, along with Michael Jimenez from your Sunday morning sports grill team, filling in for Rob and Jason on the Blitz today. So we're your substitute teachers, bringing our little flavor to the day on this Memorial Day, as some of you guys are still sitting kicking your feet back, paying respect to the fallen, the people who've given the ultimate sacrifice for this country. So on this day, we're going to make the best of those who are able to listen in, streaming online or listening on the radio. So in our last segment, we're talking a little NBA playoffs, Michael, and we also wanted to go in and hint a little bit more about what's coming up in the tennis world, Naomi Osaka. So now here is one of the world's best tennis players. And she has come out publicly and said she has some issues with dealing with the media post-match, particularly when she has lost, and she's had some issues. And initially, she came out and said, look, I'm just not going to be doing this. I'm just not going to do it. The tennis organizations, every major had come out and said, look, you basically, there is a responsibility to this. And if you don't, you'll be fined. So she, as a chess move, said, well, I hope the fines go to a good charity, a charitable cause, because I'm not going to do it. So she kind of doubled down on it. And then lo and behold, today they come back and say, look, you could be removed. You could actually be forfeited if you don't play, if you don't talk to the media. And so she withdraws. Michael, who's at fault here?
This is such a great story. It's a great story because yesterday I was debating whether or not to put this on the show for the Sunday Sports Grill, because it's like, it's tennis and there's not a lot of tennis fans out there. I'm a huge tennis fan. I play tennis.
Yes.
And Naomi Osaka is not nobody. She's the number 2 ranked player in the world. She has won 4 majors, including one earlier this year at the Australian Open. For her to come out and say, not doing post-game or post-match conferences, and for the French Open to come back and not only say that they're going to fine her, but also have these veiled comments on her on Twitter saying, these people knew their role, showing other people at the podium. And who's at fault? I hate to say it, but Naomi Osaka's at fault. She's absolutely at fault. She's one of the most premier faces in this sport. She's taking the torch, or the baton, if you will, from Serena Williams. She needs to be out there. And I go back to the fact that she won the Australian Open 3 months ago, and they interviewed her on the court while they were giving her the trophy, and she had no problem, absolutely no problem, talking at that time about the match, about what she did. And for her to come out and say, oh, I have a mental health issue when I lose, I'm sorry, but you are a competitor, man. And this is part of the game. Now, to those listening right now, I take mental health seriously, okay? Because I've gone to therapy in the past before. I've had depression in the past before. I have gone out and sought help. I get that, okay? But the whole aspect of I don't have an issue when I win, but I have an issue when I lose. Well, you're a professional athlete, and this is part of your job. And I have a hard time saying that she was doing the right thing, even if it was for herself. It's part of her job, man. And I'm perfectly okay with these tournaments saying, no, we're going to fine you. We're going to remove you from there. So when she said that she was going to withdraw from there, it's kind of like one of those things where the boss says you're fired and she goes, no, I quit. That's what it sounds like. But now she says she's going to take some time away from the sport. And who really loses in all this is the sport itself and the fans.
I agree. And I think this is a huge mistake on the tennis organization. Mental health is a situation that's going on in this country. And there are more people who are not diagnosed with mental illness than those who are. And I think people don't know necessarily how to deal with it. She says she's been battling depression since 2018. I don't know. You're right. She took the interview afterwards when she was in victory, but I'm sure in defeat that hits a little bit differently. Go back and look at Cam Newton after they won an NFC championship and look at his interview versus how Cam Newton dealt with getting handed to him after the Super Bowl. He's just a different person. He didn't handle the interview well. He showed up, he sat in the chair, he put his hoodie over his head, and he sulked, and he basically was no value add to even talk to him. So sometimes having a person physically present when they were not mentally there, I don't know if that's necessarily the peach you want either. So I think that's where the miss is. We have players like DeRozan, Kevin Love, players who've come out and said they have challenges dealing with their depression, and it comes in different forms. So I feel like in this situation, the tennis organization should have stepped back and said, maybe we do some canned pre-recorded interviews and then give you a chance to do it and have it pre-recorded versus having to deal with it in the moment of defeat.
Well, no, because that's not how deadlines work. Because after the game, ESPN.com needs something, Bleacher Report needs something, Sports Illustrated, and all those European companies need something to go on. I mean, think about it this way. If she didn't want to have the attention, then she wouldn't be getting the income that she earns, the millions that she earns doing this sport. Okay, it's part of the job, because without the media, without television watching, without a star, then you have nothing there. You have absolutely nothing there. And I'm not trying to say that her mental health should not be taken seriously, because the thing is she says that she does not like being second guessed about her strategy. She does not like to be questioned about how she approached a match. And she has basically said, I have not broken down before, but I've seen other players break down, and I don't want that to happen to me. The problem is that this sets a bad precedent, because what if somebody, maybe she is being honest, maybe she is having an issue, anxiety, or whatever the case may be with this and can't do this, but who's going to call her on it if she is not telling the truth?
You can't.
Right. Which means that could mean that everybody else says the exact same thing, and it just sets a precedent.
I would rather the people who are able to do it and be a value add to the press conference afterward in defeat or victory be there than a person who's not ready to do it. Because when you really think about it, I get it. There's deadlines. We got to get the sound bites. We got to do those things. But look, if we're a boxing match and you got knocked out, Michael, I don't get to put a mic on your while you're laying on your back saying, "Hey, look, we got a deadline. I need to know what you thought about how you didn't duck that right hook."
But
I got to give you time. I got to wait till you come. You're okay before you can talk about it.
Some of them need time because their brains have turned into scrambled eggs by that point.
Well,
Okay.
now see, metaphorically, she might be scrambled eggs too in defeat, and now she's dealing with it.
What happened to Mamba mentality in sports?
Everybody's not Mamba.
Oh my God! But you know what? It's not like she just picked up playing tennis last week. Okay, she's been playing competitive tennis since she was probably 5 years old. Okay.
Yep.
And it's part of the job. I don't know how else other than to say that, because if you cannot stomach that, then you're going to have a difficulty being a professional athlete, because this is part of being a professional athlete.
No, I agree with that, and I think the whole our country, our world is full of elite athletes, and the disconnect is their mental strength of dealing with all the things that come encompassing with being a professional athlete. And I think she's one of this part of it is going to be dealing with defeat when you're such a high performer. Some people just don't deal with it well.
Now, again, if you have mental health issues and need treatment, seek it. It is important to do so. Okay, so I'm not trying to come across as somebody who is not aware of that or sensitive to that. Okay. I have been through therapy before because I had stress-induced depression during a custody battle that I was in. Okay. So that was a big deal for me. And I saw a therapist like 10 or 12 times and it helped. Okay. I get that. Okay. It is important to seek treatment. Okay. But all of this here kind of seems a little preventative. And I have a little bit of an issue with that, because sports and the media need each other. They need each other, because if the sports were being played in a vacuum, then no one would be making any money. It wouldn't be on TV. It wouldn't be on the radio. It wouldn't be streaming. It would be nothing. So I'm sorry, but this is the way. She knew what she was signing up for. Right?
Right. And I agree with that part of it. I just think this is her not finishing out in the French Open is a loss, both for the organization and for the competition and for the tennis audience. I think it's a lose-lose situation here, and when everybody's basically doubled down on the stance of what the accountability is.
Now, Naomi Osaka has said that she did not mean to take attention away from the tournament, was not trying to make this be the story about her, is taking some time to withdraw from the sport in general for a while. She's a talented athlete, has won 4 majors, all 4 on hard court. Other people have come in support of her. Some stars like Billie Jean King has said, "Man, I'm conflicted about this because I don't know how to approach this, because we see the importance, but at the same time, Billie Jean King is saying the sport needs you. We need a star. We cannot be a starless sport." And with Serena Williams eventually leaving the sport, there's going to be a star hole there that's needed, right, to be filled. And that's where Naomi Osaka can come in, and that's what she's needed for in the sport, because if she's going to go off winning 10 or 12 majors, she needs to be known. That's just the way that it is. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking about war movies, but I like the fact that we have people reaching out to us on Facebook Live, on Twitter, and stuff like that, even when they're telling me that I'm wrong about something. So Steve Sosa on Twitter reached out to me and said, "Michael, Cruella is not on HBO Max. It's on Disney Plus." Also reached out to you. Emma Stone wasn't in Spider-Man 3. So, man, he is correcting both of us. But Cruella is on Disney Plus. I should have put 2 and 2 together because it is a Disney movie. It was one of the best movies I've seen in a long, long time. But speaking of a long time, there's been war movie after war movie after, year after year after year. We're going to talk about the greatest war movies we've ever seen. Yes. Give some examples that you've given us. This is The Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Sundays are for the grill. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 in the morning to 1. Chop it up and grill with former and current Rock the Mic champs Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 to 1 every Sunday.
You know, this Memorial Day Monday, you've got that grill fired up and you want the best sausage on that grill. You need to get Kielbasa smoked sausage. It's what you've been looking for, the kind of sausage you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. And it's because the way they make their legendary smoked sausage at Kielbasa. It's made in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when he started the company. And everything they make is still made right here in San Antonio over there off of South Brazos Street. Kia Bossa is a great San Antonio company on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kia Bossa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you'll ever eat. Michael Kia Bossa guarantees it. That's why he puts his phone around the back of every package sold. If it's not the best, call him. He'll give you your money back. You're going to fire up the grill. Make sure you go get yourself some Kia Bossa today.
At CDW, we get that even the biggest jobs need to fit on your lap.
It's true. My entire workday happens right here on my lap.
And you can get it done faster with the performance and security of a device configured by CDW and powered by the Built for Business Intel V Pro platform.
Nice.
Are you done yet, Mommy?
More time for story time.
An even better use of your lap. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying.
That's why Super Beta Prostate is the #1 prostate supplement recommended by urologists. You can try a full 30-day bottle free. Just pay shipping and handling.
No strings attached and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free.
Call 1-800-482-7181.
Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no strings attached free bottle, you must call now.
Call 1-800-482-7181.
Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer.
1-800-482-7181. 1-800-482-7181.
Is the Blitz. That's Quinn Hudson, along with Michael Jimenez, filling in for Rob Thompson and Jason Minix. Listen, I probably shouldn't have done that. Rob makes it sound easy, but I just kind of tore up my throat a little bit if we did that. But we're filling in on the Blitz today. You've got your Sunday morning sports grill team here filling in. We're the substitute teachers, but don't flip, man. We got things to talk about today. Now, we just talked about a little tennis. Who would have thought, man, on Sports Talk, we were going to go ahead and just deal with so much tennis. But now, one of the things we wanted to talk about, one of the things we do on the Sunday Morning Sports Grill, which you can find us every Sunday from 11 to 1. We talk a little pop culture with music and TV shows and movies, and we go back and forth. And on this Memorial Day, where a lot of times people get a little nostalgic and kind of immerse themselves into some military-esque viewing, if you're not, by a poolside or a beach or a river or just with your feet up. And we got NBA basketball coming up later, and we'll talk a little bit more of that. Some people are watching military movies. So, all-time military movies. What you got, Michael?
It's interesting to talk about these military movies because I think a lot of people between the ages of, say, 25 through 50 are all going to say Saving Private Ryan. And don't get me wrong, it's a great movie. The opening 10 to 15 minutes of that war scene where it's just brutality, just bring you into the horrors of war is amazing. Amazing. And I know that there have been interviews and things said in the past of veterans who've had issues seeing that because it was so realistic. That is probably the greatest war montage I've ever seen. But honestly, I don't think it's the best war movie I've ever seen. Because at the end of the day, I didn't like a lot of those characters, man. Matt Damon's character, Tom Hanks' character, they were all unlikable. So it was kind of hard for me to kind of get into that movie. But, my favorite war movie, probably I'll name a few that I've really liked over the years. Glory, Civil War movie, Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington.
Speaking to my heart now. Yes.
Dude, Morgan Freeman's been old since I was like 5 years old.
Oh, yeah. But first of all, Morgan Freeman was old when I was a kid, and he was on Electric Company, and he was Spider-Man. So there you go.
I love Glory. What a great movie. What a great message. Apocalypse Now is a great movie as well.
Yes.
I always liked Hacksaw Ridge.
Did you?
Yeah, I really liked Hacksaw Ridge. It's a the whole Vince Vaughn casting was a little bit off, but aside from that, it was a really, really good movie. Which ones do you like?
Nice. First of all, Glory is one of my favorites of all time. The march at the end with the 54th Regiment, the Black Union Army marching on Fort Sumner, when they were marching in and the drums and they're saying, "Give them hell, 54th." That's one of the most emotional things in that movie. Denzel Washington was phenomenal. Matthew Broderick, all of them great in that movie. So that one's definitely one of my favorites. But my all-time favorite is Platoon.
It's been a while. Johnny Drama's in that one.
Yes, and I mean, you've got that cast. William Dafoe, Charlie Sheen, probably at his best work during this particular movie. You got Tom Berenger. It's such a great, well done movie. They put you in the foxhole. You get everything. You get the political aspect. You get the segregated soldiers. You get the disarray that they were in, without direction, how young a lot of the soldiers were that were put in those situations, the way soldiers did what they had to do to try to get out of the situation, and the bravery when they had to hold the front line, to hold the line. I think that movie was outstanding. So that one I put in there. Full Metal Jacket. I love Full Metal Jacket. That movie to me, it just gets you caught up emotionally in it. So yeah, I like those are my three.
Okay, is Full Metal Jacket actually a really good movie? Because that movie is epic the first hour and a half, but the second hour and a half of the movie is just not that good. Okay, the whole training scenes, the big dude having the big dude having to eat the donut while everyone works out around him. I mean, the only part I get out of the second part of the movie is that Two Live Crew reference that comes out later on, 20 some odd years later, right? Yeah. And so I'm not going to get into that one. I'll move along with that one. But whenever that the sniper gets killed, the female sniper, and she's there going, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, whenever I'm working out and I'm just dying, I look at my wife and I say that, shoot. I give reference to that movie. Hey, real fast. We have AC on Twitter says Full Metal Jacket's his favorite ones. Gabriel Diaz going back saying Saving Private Ryan. Matthew Deal agrees with him. Says Band of Brothers is his favorite war series.
Yes.
Generation Kill was a great war series as well on HBO about 10 years ago.
I did not see this one.
Yeah, if you have HBO Max, it's on there. It's amazing. We have someone who came out and said Red Dawn. Okay.
Wait.
Is Red Dawn a war movie? Can it be a war movie if the war didn't exist? That we're going to talk about that at the 6 o'clock hour, because there's going to be more about that. Okay. But I said Red Dawn.
Wolverine.
What about some movies? Like, is it a war movie if it just affects the military? I'll give you an example. Black Hawk Down, right? That was was that Mogadishu, right?
Yes.
Okay. We weren't actually in war there, but it was war related. It's a war zone, but is it the same as the Civil War or the Iraqi War or World War II?
Are we going to scale this out? Independence Day?
Oh, wow.
We were at war for Earth. We were at war for Earth, man.
What about like Zero Dark 30? Okay, it involves the war on terror.
Yes,
going out to go get Bin Laden. Which
yes.
But by the way, Zero Dark 30 is an excellent movie.
Very
Absolutely
well done.
Love that movie.
Agreed.
But is it a war movie?
Yes, I think it is. I think it has all the components of it, right? You got military action, you've got the enemy, battles take place, and there's a victor come the spoil. So yeah, I think so. I say it is.
I can't wait till we talk about this even more during the 6 o'clock hour, because we're going to be talking more about not only movies, but we have Spurs talk coming up. What should the Spurs do in the upcoming draft? I mean, that's a big question. Should the Spurs trade up? Should they draft somebody down low? Should they go after a shooter? And at 5:15, we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving, another fan being an idiot out there throwing a bottle at him. This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
The Texas Rangers play right here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
This is Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers.
And as Gallo swings, hits a bomb down the right field line. It's hooking, and that ball is history.
Your home for the Texas Rangers all season long.
Back-to-back home runs.
Texas Rangers baseball on ESPN San Antonio is brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
Your home for the Texas Rangers. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Nigel, what in the world is this?
Oh, Joel, you've got to get out more. This is the new Quarter Moon Ice Cream Delivery System.
Looks like a moped with a cooler strapped on the back.
It's my new marketing endeavor. I'm taking cool treats to the streets. Rainbow Pops, ice cream sandwiches, Choco Tacos, Lemon Chills, Dream Bars, Banana Fudge Pop. I've even named some of the treats after Quarter Moon employees.
I guess that makes you the Nutty Bar.
I don't get it.
Folks, when life hands you a broken air conditioner on a hot day or a busted pipe during the middle of the night, all of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning are dedicated to fixing the problem fast and fair.
And give you ice cream.
Nigel, I know that's my cooler, but where did you get that moped?
Yeah, about that. Gotta go.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. See our Quarter Moon trucks with the Outhouse logo all over town.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number M13229, TACLA, 000743458.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
It's the perfect season to power your passions during Dell's summer sale event. Save up to $400 on the very latest Dell XPS computers and Alienware systems, all powered by Intel Core processors. You'll also find great savings on Dell monitors, docks, and other popular accessories. Special limited quantity deals start each weekday at 10 a.m. through May 31st. Plus, enjoy free shipping on everything. Just call 800-BY-DELL for summer sale event savings. That's 800-BY-DELL.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
ESPN San Antonio, all day, every day. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM, KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
Welcome back to The Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. My name is Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champ, joined by Quinn Hudson, our reigning Rock the Mic champ. Rob and Jason taking the day off for Memorial Day. There's a rumor going around that we're going to do this show on Friday, too, so I'm looking forward to that as well. We're going to 7 o'clock talking sports, pop culture, movies, music. Absolutely love doing shows with Quinn Hudson. We have our show on Sunday mornings called the Sunday Sports Grill from 11 to 1. You might also remember me from the fantasy gods. And, another rumor saying that might actually come back for a season 2. Looking forward to that. Happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. Again, this is the time of the year that we honor, pay respect to those brave men and women who died while serving in the military. This is a time of the year that we also, as people, can kind of get to relax a little bit. It's the unofficial start of summer. I believe it because my legs are covered in mosquito bites right now. So summer has officially arrived. And usually mosquitoes avoid me.
That's me.
And I don't know, but I went for a walk with my wife the other day, and man, I got eaten alive. Ugh. So today, I've had a good Memorial Day. I went to go check out the movie Cruella with Emma Stone. And during the break, Quinn was going through her background of all the movies that she's been in. And I think you're coming to my side saying, yeah, she is America's sweetheart. She is pretty brilliant.
I have a hard time wanting to unearth Jennifer Lawrence in that role, but going through her body of work, she absolutely has some monumental movies that she's done very well in. You listed some of them, and we didn't even mention La La Land, which I thought showed a whole new depth. And if you haven't seen that movie, she gives a character that's unlike any other character that she's done in that movie. Very dark. And then she's basically acting. She's trying to make it in Hollywood. So you get to see her do her on air, casting calls, and she shows a whole range of emotions in that particular performance, in addition to her ability to sing and dance, which is not an easy feat as well. So yeah, definitely.
Cruella in theaters right now. It's also on Disney Plus. Got corrected last hour by a listener. Thank you so much for that.
And likewise with Spider-Man.
Yes. Hey, what the hardest part about going to the movies was today? Wasn't forking over $50 for the tickets. It wasn't forking over $50
for concessions.
It was the first time I had temptation since starting keto. Been on the keto diet, for the past few weeks. I'm down 12 pounds, working out a lot. But man, the smells from inside the theater.
That'd be torture.
It was torture. And then I'm looking at the menu going, what can I order? And I showed you a picture of what I ordered at Santikos, Casablanca.
That's what that was from?
Yes.
Okay, they've got broccoli and carrots.
Dude, it was a steamed vegetable plate with hummus. It was
okay. This is too much.
It was squash. It was zucchini. It was carrots, and I was eating that soggy stuff in the
I just won't eat. I'll have to eat before I got to the movie theater if it comes to that.
My 8-year-old daughter was like, I can smell it from here. She was 2 seats over. But my wife and I, I'm not ashamed to admit it, man. I sneak in snacks. So I knew I was going to have difficulty finding something there to eat. So we snuck in a bag of pecans, and we snuck in some pork rinds as well, which probably wasn't a good idea because I was crunching up a storm. And
louder than anything the snack bar could produce. you're turning heads.
You know what? If I am going to pay $50 for tickets and $50 for concessions just for my 2 kids, I think I have the right to take in my own snacks. I can take in Happy Meal if I wanted to at that point.
The fact that you're sneaking in pecans and not gummy bears or Skittles or M&Ms. You're coming in loaded with pure proteins and low carb snacks.
Keto, baby, keto. Down 12 pounds so far, down 17 pounds from a month ago.
Looking good.
But 12 pounds since I started keto. So I lost a few pounds before I got on it. And I feel great.
Okay,
man.
Just don't be that guy at the movie theater saying, "Do you have gluten-free now and laters?" Don't be that guy, all right?
Man, now and laters, that's something I haven't tried in a while. But the temptation was there. I was even so stupid that at Casablanca, I looked around at the gelato they have there, and I was looking for like a sign that said sugar-free, just by chance that they'd have it. No, but so that's why I have those Enlightened brand keto bars in my fridge. So good times, man. Good times. Thinning out a little bit, man.
You are looking good. But
vacations in 2 months for me.
Note to self: if I go over to Michael's house, bring my own snacks.
Exactly. Exactly. We threw away our alcohol.
Oh man.
Oh my God. It was we just threw it all away.
Oh man, you're doing a whole on purge right now.
Yeah, man. Because we burned our boat. There you go.
Hey,
It's a fun time in basketball right now. It's the NBA playoffs. I know the Spurs aren't there, and I know as Spurs fans, we want them to be in the playoffs. But the fact of the matter is, there is reason for optimism this offseason. The Spurs have been hoarding this salary cap money for so long, so we have money to spend, right? We have money to spend, and on top of that, the Spurs have a lottery pick. As of right now, slotted at 12. In about 4 weeks, we're going to have the NBA lottery to see if the Spurs can somehow move up to the top 4. There's about an 8% chance of that. But Quinn, scale of 1 through 10, how optimistic should Spurs fans be right now heading into this offseason?
They should not be optimistic at all because they don't know what the Spurs organization wants to be, who they want them to be. If you were a Spurs fan at the end of last season in the bubble, the Spurs had momentum. You saw young talent. They were playing without LaMarcus Aldridge, who was injured at the time. You saw DeRozan being the veteran, playing along with the young nucleus of players. DeJounte Murray getting back into his true healthier form. You're excited. And then they add Vassell, and you get Keldon Johnson, and you're seeing these young talent. And what do? We get nothing for LaMarcus Aldridge. We keep DeRozan past the trade deadline. We don't improve our perimeter shooting. We've got Rudy Gay aging as we speak. We got Patty Mills, a specialist who doesn't even specialize in threes anymore. So you've got these things, and now you're like, well, what are they going to do? They're going to get another Vassell? You're going to get another draft pick that we're not going to use and develop and not going to get consistent minutes. You're going to get DMPs. One game he plays 30 minutes. One game he plays 15. If I'm a Spurs fan, I don't know who we want to be. We don't want to rebuild. We don't really want to necessarily developing our young talent. Do we want to go through free agency? Do we want to move this pick? I don't know. So I'm not excited. I'm concerned because I don't know what the coaching staff and what the organization wants to do moving forward.
I am cautiously optimistic. You have made some very valid points. Okay. I'm looking forward to the season because I think that DeRozan wants to move on. Okay. I have no insider information on there, but why would he want to stay? Why? And more importantly, why would the Spurs want to re-sign him? Okay. By trade, I'm an investor. Okay. I'm securities licensed. And we talk about buy low, sell high. And right now, at DeRozan's age, he's on the opposite side of 30 that you want him to be at. This is as good as he's going to be. So if we sign him for 2, 3, 4 years, we're not signing DeRozan of this year. We're signing a declined version of him. So because of that, I take a look at the Spurs veterans. And when we think of veterans, we think of like Patty Mills and Rudy Gay. I don't think we should look at that anymore. Veterans on this team should be DeJounte Murray, Derek White. I mean, how many years do they have to play before we consider them to be veterans?
That's fair.
Okay, they've been around for 4 or 5 years at this point. But I'm excited because you're saying, are we going to pick up another Devin Vassell? Well, I like Devin Vassell. He's going to have a long career, and I just think the Spurs underutilized him this year. But I was taking a look at it, and I was on Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. By the way, go on Spotify, Locked On Spurs. Jeff Garcia has a great podcast, and every once in a while, he'll call me on, and James Pledger as well. And I was telling him, I said, look, let's go back in time. Can the Spurs actually get a star if we're drafting at 12? And it just sounds like impossible. Like how would you get a star? Don't you need a number 1 pick? Tim Duncan was number 1. David Robinson was number 1. Sean Elliott was 3. We need to have one of those picks, but this is a loaded draft. This is a very, very, very strong draft. So even if the Spurs pick 12, it's the equivalent of them drafting 5 or 6 in most other years. So that being said, I went back in time. And I said, who could the Spurs have drafted at 12 in prior years? And some of the names are pretty interesting. Now, last year was Tyrese Halliburton, who went to the Kings. He went at number 12, and you had Cole Anthony. And then in 2019, you could have gotten Tyler Herro or Keldon Johnson. Okay, and we've seen how Keldon Johnson has done when the Spurs got him at 29. 2018, Miles Bridges is a good player.
Yep.
But I was taking a look at the loaded drafts, like the 2017 draft. Available at 12 was Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, man.
Bam Adebayo, John Collins, OG Anunoby, and Derek White. Think about that. Those are 5 super solid players. 2 or 3 of them are considered stars. John Collins might get the max contract this year. The Spurs should go after him. 2016, available at 12 was Karis LeVert, who went to the Pacers, Pascal Siakam, who went to the Raptors, and DeJounte was there. 2015, Devin Booker was there. 2014, Zach Levine, Dario Saric, Clint Capella, Bogdan Bogdanovic. 2013, man. Geez, Steven Adams was there.
Man.
Giannis was there. He
Hey,
went
what pick?
number 15, went to the Bucks. Tim Hardaway Jr. was also that year. 2012, you had Evan Fournier. And in 2011, All-Star City, baby. Available at 12 was Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Vucevic, and Jimmy Butler. So I take a look at this. If it was a weak draft, I'd be like, oh, man, the Spurs are at the 12th spot. But this is a very strong draft. And the Spurs do have an 8% chance of moving on up. I'm not counting on it, but there's going to be somebody good there at 12.
My question would be, at 12, is it a player as a rookie that someone's going to want to plug and play? When you look at like Golden State brought Wiseman in, they had intentions of absolutely having him become a starting in their front court. They didn't want to have to lean on Looney and Pascal, right? They didn't want to have to do that. So now you have this, if they're going to go with the front court and they're going to add a big, I think Jakob Poeltl is good. I think he's great as a backup coming off the bench. I would rather have that than have to lean on him as a starter. The mere fact that Valanciunas made him look pedestrian is telling to what we did not have in the. We've got these pieces that we didn't utilize all year, like Trey Lyles. So to me, get some quality front court players. So if they're going to make that draft pick and they're going to go through the depths of a very strong draft that's going to bring somebody that's going to be looked at as a contributor, I'm all for it.
The players that the Spurs are kind of linked to according to these mock drafts. And there's a lot of mock drafts out there. The top 5, doesn't matter what mock draft you're looking at, are all basically saying the same thing. Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Kuminga, Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green. So, but when it comes down to 12, there's a lot of mock drafts who are saying, man, the Spurs can go in a lot of different directions. Some of these mocks, like ESPN has the Spurs taking Isaiah Jackson, who's a power forward from Kentucky. I am not sold on it yet. He's there. He's known for defense, but man, we need points on the board.
Yeah, we do.
And other sites like Bleacher Report, for example, says Josh Giddey, who was an Australian all-star at the age of 18, 6'7". He's kind of like a point forward. He likes to bring the ball up the court. He has incredible vision, and he is going to come in. He has kind of like Manu's vision and passing ability. I'm not going to say he's going to be like Manu, but he has that in him, and you can tell that he has a high ceiling, high IQ. There's other sites who say Alperen Sengun, who was the MVP in Turkey, also 18, 19 years old as well. Moses Moody from Arkansas is also, looking as a potential spot. And then taking a look at Yahoo Sports thinks Corey Kispert, who played for 4 years at Gonzaga, man, shot 44% from 3. But the dude's going to be 23 years old when the season starts. So think about that. If the Spurs draft him, he'd be older than most of the Spurs' young core. That's crazy. But 44% shooters do not grow on trees. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking about some craziness going on in the stands. What exactly is going on? Did you see what happened to Kyrie Irving?
Yes.
Kyrie Irving, a bottle thrown at him as he was walking off the court yesterday. We're going to talk about that and also kind of what he did a couple of minutes before. Was it warranted? Probably not, but we need to talk about the whole situation that happened, plus all the craziness going on with fans anyway this NBA playoffs. And we're going to be talking about the Cowboys later on, OTAs. Are the Cowboys doing it the right way? This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Show us your meat. On the grill. Take a picture and upload it to ESPNSA.com, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market if you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday.
You can talk keto all you want, but if you don't have a team of great tasting snacks behind you, you're not going to win the diet marathon. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have these big, bold flavors that kick your taste buds into high gear. Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill, and more. Eat them right out of the bag or try them in your favorite recipes. You'll love this snack. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
All right. Is that a Q2 or Q3 expense?
Dwayne's CPA went MIA.
Nah.
To keep his books and his sanity, he needs to find a replacement ASAP.
Hey, Johnny, Have you ever heard of a fungible good?
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Rob Thompson for Service First AC and Plumbing. It's about to get hot here in San Antonio. What are you going to do in your office or your home when your AC goes out? I want you to know you've got a guy in the AC and plumbing business. It's Service First AC and Plumbing. Right now, I want you to take your phone. I want you to put this in there, 210-521-1500. Save it now before you need it, because you will need them. It's San Antonio. It's about to get hot. And Service First AC and Plumbing, and family owned and operated for 14 years. Here in SA, they're locally owned, and more importantly, they're fast, reliable, proactively, and certainly trusted. You have a guy in the plumbing and AC business. It's Service First AC and Plumbing. The number's 210-521-1500. Their website, servicefirstactx.com. You have a guy. Put it in your phone before you need it. Service First AC and Plumbing.
Have service first in your phone, 521-1500.
License number DACLB 27100E.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
Friends, if you're in a job you can't stand or worried your unemployment benefits will be ending, you need to go to mycomputercareer.edu and fill out the free career evaluation form. I've personally spoken to them, and apparently employers are lining up to hire their graduates. In as little as 4 months, you could start your career in the growing cybersecurity and networking fields. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. Tell them Max sent you.
Check out ESPN San Antonio's $2 Tuesdays for the San Antonio Missions with $2 reserve tickets, parking, pizza, beer, and sausage wraps. Go to samissions.com for tickets and details. Man, if I'm going to get those sausage wraps, got to kick that tortilla off to the side, man. Doing the keto life right now, down 15 to 17 pounds.
You look good. I'm going to take the tortillas off your hand.
Very cool. Hey, welcome back to the Blitz. Rob and Jason are taking the holiday off. Happy Memorial Day to everyone out there. Michael Jimenez here. I'm 2019 Rock the Mic champion, joined by Quinn Hudson, who is our reigning Rock the Mic champ. We host a show on Sunday from 11 to 1 called the Sunday Sports Grill, where we talk about sports, pop culture, movies. I promise this segment I won't talk about Cruella too much. People are probably driving around going, golly, why is he talking about Emma Stone so much? Because I love her, man. She's America's sweetheart, and Cruella was fantastic, man. Not even sponsoring the show, but I've mentioned it 3 times how much I've loved this movie. Hey, this upcoming segment, it's kind of a disturbing one when I think about it. You know, yesterday, the Brooklyn Nets took a commanding 3-1 lead over the Boston Celtics. But at the end of the day, that wasn't really the big story. The big story was what happened after the game when Kyrie Irving was walking through the tunnel, or making his way to the tunnel, and a fan threw a water bottle at him. And this happens just a few days after a 76ers fan threw popcorn at an injured Russell Westbrook. There was a fan who allegedly spat at Trae Young of the Hawks. And then there's some reports that some Utah fans were harassing the family of Memphis star Ja Morant. Quinn, simple question. What the heck is going on?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. The quarantine did something to people, you know, being idle for so long. Once things started to open back up, and we're not as a country completely open back up, but more as people could do things that they once could not do, could do again, it amplified things. I think you've experienced it yourself. I think the very first time you could go into a restaurant, go to a bar, go to a function, and there were people, movie theater, if you will. It just seems heightened. The experience is even greater. And I think fans being back at sporting events, they're cheering louder. Even when they're not max capacity, you're hearing this crowd is loud, they're engaged because they want to be there. And I think they're also getting completely immersed emotionally into the ugly side of it. When their team is losing, they're not handling it well. They're overstepping their bounds and they're taking things too far. And I really think these organizations and law enforcement need to crack down on this too. There needs to be a heavy repercussion for them stepping across those boundaries. The fact that John Morant's family was harassed that way and the things that were said to them, most players do have friends and family in the stands, and they come in their sports paraphernalia supporting the person that they know. That should not be the harassment zone as the opposition fans in the stands. And then to cross that line of making it be a racially motivated taunts and things that went down that road. What Kyrie Irving did, he chose to disrespect the facility, if you will, right? By wiping his feet on the Boston Celtics logo as he's about to leave the court. To me, I feel like by him doing that, that was for the Boston Celtics to take issue with. That was for the Boston Celtics to say, we got one more game. And we won't forget that. To me, that's how it should have been handled. For a fan to rear back and throw a bottle because he took offense to it, that's out of bounds.
I don't know if he took offense to it. I cannot say that because I've seen the video and basically Kyrie Irving kind of reminded me of the days of when Terrell Owens played for the Niners and he scored a touchdown and put the ball on the star.
I was at that game.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was living in Dallas. I was at that game. Yes.
It reminded me of that a little bit, but this was after the game. And if you look at the viewpoint of Kyrie Irving doing that, his back is to that fan. So for the fan to see that from behind, I don't necessarily buy that was the reasoning behind it.
I don't even know if there's a justifiable reason, even if it was.
Right.
I think just the fan being salty at the reality that the season that he probably thought with the Jaylen Brown being healthy, the expectations of the Boston Celtics was just going to be better.
Right.
And so, yeah, I don't think that'd be a justifiable thing. But going back to your example you used for the Cowboys, it was George Teague. It was the safety George Teague who took issue and went out there and laid out Terrell Owens the second time he went to do it. So it was a player dealing with them, which is why I feel like if there was a Boston Celtics that felt disrespected, you'll handle it in the next game, which is going to be your last game anyway.
It's interesting talking about Kyrie Irving because it's not like he's just a competitor. He played for the Boston Celtics.
And not well.
Not well. He made the All-Star team both times, both years that he was there.
No, CP3 made the All-Star. Don't get me started.
Oh, okay. Okay. But the fact of the matter is Kyrie did make the All-Star team twice.
Yes.
He left on bad terms. So there's that bad blood already.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, man, there's an ugliness to it. And don't want to get into politics because you and I have made this pledge, this promise that we're not going to talk politics on our shows.
Right.
Okay. But there's some ugliness there that I think goes beyond a few bad apples. And it's immaturity, it's ugliness, and it is thinking that you are that they are beneath you for one reason or the other. Okay. Now, Boston police did get involved. They charged a 21-year-old with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. I don't know how a bottle with 4 ounces of water is going to be considered a dangerous weapon, or if that charge is going to stick, but that's what they've done. And it brings to mind all of these different fans. Why is it that we don't know their name? Why is it that that's hidden?
I don't know. I think that should be out there.
It's an adult.
That's right.
And I'm sure it'll come out, it's public knowledge or public records or whatever the case may be. But why do we not immediately know who they are?
We don't know who the fan was who spit on Trae Young.
Yeah.
We don't know who that fan was either.
So the focus is always, and because of that, because we don't know that, the focus goes on the athlete and their reaction. It goes to Russell Westbrook wanting to jump into the stands and have another Malice at the Palace type of incident. It focuses on the anger and the frustration of the victim. And as opposed to, look at this moron over here who did this.
I agree. And this is so misplaced. Why do we know who Steve Bartman is? Why do we know who the poor fan at the Cubs game who catches the ball?
And he did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong, but we all know his name.
Yeah.
He can't buy a sandwich in Chicago. He can't buy a sandwich. Nobody even wants to deal with him. He's being taunted by people to this day. The guy has gone into obscurity. We don't know who the fans who do the wrong things. That's something wrong with that. By the way, shout out to Vince Trevino, who's listening in on ESPNSA.com.
Oh, he's a longtime listener. Thank you so much. Hey, Kevin Durant, after the game said, quote, fans got to grow up at some point. I know that being in the house for a year and a half with the pandemic got people on edge. A lot of people are stressed out. But when it comes to these games, you got to realize that these are human beings out there. We are not animals. We are not in the circus. You coming to the game is not about you as a fan, so have some respect for the game, have some respect for these human beings, and have some respect for yourself, end quote. Went on to say, would your mother approve of your actions? And I think that we would all be better off in life before we do something stupid to ask ourselves that question, would that make our mama proud?
I agree. I agree with that as well. But I also think when we were in school, we all went to school with some kids who we know both them and their mama didn't care.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about, obviously sports and pop culture. But the thing is that we typically do a segment on the Sunday Sports Grill called Grill It or Chill It, right? Where we ask ourselves some questions. Grill it, we agree. Chill it, we're going to put that on the back burner because we don't agree. So we're going to grill it or chill it some topics here. The Dallas Cowboys. Are the Cowboys being underestimated by Las Vegas odds makers? And speaking of the Cowboys, are they doing the right thing with their OTAs? Are they taking it too seriously, too rough at this time of the year? This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Score Dad $1,000 for Father's Day. Enter to win now at ESPNSA.com. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any gear, you need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro. If you need your logo on shirts, on jackets, on caps, Sammy's Embroidery Club is the place to go. Uniforms, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Medical, restaurant, service industry, construction, camo gear, safety gear. Sammy has it all. And not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts for any occasions. Maybe you got a family reunion coming up. You want that t-shirt made so everybody in the family has that family reunion t-shirt? Sammy will get it done for you. Maybe your employees need silkscreen t-shirts. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or get into that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or call Sammy, 210-824-3900, 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
When it comes to social distancing, if 6 feet is not enough with your spouse, it's probably time to change your status. Call the Divorce Dude with Polling Law PLLC. The Divorce Dude will help you get a fast, affordable, agreed divorce. But if you want to fight, the Divorce Dude will fight for you. DivorceDude.com gives you easy legal options and sticks with you every step of the way. Call George, the Divorce Dude, 210-201-0303. That's 210-201-0303 or DivorceDude.com.
Designer face masks, DIY haircuts. In a world full of things you never thought possible, here's one more. Now you can get the same high-quality insurance from Allstate, but at a new low rate. Drivers who switched and saved average $718. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Reported average annual savings from switching auto by new customers surveyed who saved with Allstate in 2019. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Not available in every state. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Jess's 30-minute bike boot camp? I guess it's that kind of day.
Are you ready for a total body workout, Peloton fam?
I am.
We'll start the class on the bike and then move to the floor. Let's get it.
With Peloton instructors right in your home.
Are you feeling it yet? Let's keep pushing for 5.
You have motivation that's ready when you are.
Clip off that bike and meet me on the mat for lunges.
I got this.
You showed up today, Peloton. Who's feeling sweaty and strong?
Definitely me.
Tap into your motivation at onepeloton.com.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
It's all about getting the most out of summer. And with Certified Refurbished from eBay, you can enjoy 100% of summer with up to 50% savings on top brands, plus a 15% off coupon through Memorial Day. So tackle your to-do list and break out the playlist with like new products from the brands you love. We're talking Bose, Works, iRobot, and more, all at up to 50% savings. And now through Memorial Day, get an extra 15% off coupon to save even more with Certified Refurbished. Shop Memorial Day savings at eBay today.
Who doesn't want instant gratification? If you're looking for satisfaction, there's no need to wait. With Credit Karma Money, you could win cash reimbursements for debit card purchases. Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. Just go to creditkarma.com/winmoney to sign up for free and start winning instant Karma. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. Banking services provided by MBB Bank Incorporated. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply.
You're listening to The Blitz. Join The Blitz Thursdays at 6 p.m. for Grilling with The Blitz. Submit your recipes and picture at espnsa.com under the Win tab. Every week is a chance to win a new $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Markets. Grilling with The Blitz every single Thursday at 6 p.m. I'm Quinn Hudson with Michael Jimenez. You've got your Sunday Sports Grill team filling in. We are the backup quarterbacks for Rob and Jason, who are out and enjoying this Memorial Day, and hopefully you are as well as you listen in, whether on the radio or on our Facebook feed live. We're having some fun today, talking some NBA basketball, talking a little bit about our favorite military movies of all time, as we'll continue to discuss that and send in your thoughts and what you think are the best military movies that you enjoy watching. And always, we want to pay our respects to all the servicemen and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to have the freedom and liberties that we have today. So this is our favorite segment we do on Sundays. It's called Grill It or Chill It. And so we're going to get it going right now. So I'm going to start with you, Michael. Grill it means it's hot. For the people who are listening for the first time, chill it means not so much, and we'll put it on ice because we don't agree. There you go. Normally I like a little gin with that little ice, but on this day, we'll keep it with the Powerade. So grill it or chill it. Win or lose, Jaylen Brown or not, we've seen these Boston Celtics fall short. We've seen them with a lot of picks, a lot of draft picks. They've had star power. They move players in and out. Grill it or chill it. If there's a first round exit, is it time to blow up the Boston Celtics, Michael?
Grill it. How disappointing has this team been? Man, you mentioned right there. We've been talking about this for years about how they've had all the draft picks, all the draft capital. They've had some all-star players go in and out. They have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They have, they had a really good reserves. They had experience. They had some good young players. It was a perfect mix. It was like a perfect storm of everything that you would want as a fan of a team. We would hope that we would have that type of ability as Spurs fans to have all of that. But to see what has happened to them, oh my God, Danny Ainge, Brad Stevens, they have just done such a poor job with that team because Danny Ainge just couldn't pull the trigger. Couldn't pull the trigger. He could have had Kawhi Leonard, right? He could have had Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi played with the Spurs, but was refusing to get rid of Tatum or Brown, reportedly, allegedly. And if that was the sticking point, then that is the reason why they have not performed so well. They've had Gordon Hayward in years past. They've had Terry Rozier in years past. Kyrie, Rondo,
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, they've had talent go in and out of there. Can't pull it together. 36-36 this year, 7th seed. They had to go into the play-in tournament with all that talent, all that draft capital. Grill it, blow it up, start anew.
I agree. I have to agree with you. I feel like the whole trust the process, we tried trusting the process. And it's one of those situations where like a kid who has all this candy, all these toys, and they don't want nobody else to have it, but they don't know what to do with all of it either. And they've fallen short. So I do think it's absolutely time for Boston to make a move. And I don't even know if the coach is out of harm's way as well. He might be a sacrificial lamb because you can't just blow up and get rid of all your talent. So I do think there's going to be big changes with Boston. And I do believe the next game is their last game of the season.
You know, I love going to Vegas, love going to sports books. There's that new one at Circa, which is amazing. I love hanging out on Fremont Street, love betting on sports, right? And we were talking, about, the Cowboys and the Houston Texans and what are the odds of them winning the Super Bowl. And you got a little bit upset here with me because I mentioned to you that there are 11 teams that Las Vegas thinks has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl than the Dallas Cowboys. So grill it or chill it. Las Vegas is underestimating this team.
Chill it. Okay. Listen, this is so disrespectful. I do believe what Las Vegas is doing is they're hedging their bets because by the teams they have ahead of the Dallas Cowboys, they're basically setting these people up, these fans up, to place money on teams that seem to have chances to win who don't.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cleveland Browns should not be in this conversation. Cleveland Browns do not have a better shot than the Dallas Cowboys. The Baltimore Ravens do not have a better shot than the Dallas Cowboys returning Dak Prescott. They absolutely do not. I do believe there's maybe 3 or 4 teams that do. The defending Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay. I do believe, as you mentioned, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Rams, and I'll give the Saints because I believe the Saints have a defense. They have all the pieces, and I do believe in Jameis Winston under the tutelage of Peyton. So that's where that comes into play. But other than that, everybody else is fighting for the same bone, climbing the same mountain, and everybody else who's favored ahead of them, that is a sucker's bet.
So right now, Vegas has Kansas City as the favorite to win the Super Bowl, currently at 4.5 to 1 odds, followed by Tampa Bay, Baltimore, the Bills, the Rams at 5th, the 49ers, Cleveland Browns, Green Bay Packers, Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts, and then those Dallas Cowboys right there. And you know what? I'm going to grill it. I'm sorry. I'm going to grill the fact that they are underestimating the Cowboys. Okay, I think the Cowboys are better than a couple of these teams out there. But I don't think they're better than most of those teams that I mentioned. Okay. I think the Cowboys realistically are probably in the 8th or 9th position, just talent wise, because we don't know what's going on defensively with that team, man.
You don't know what's going on in Green Bay offensively.
But they don't have a quarterback coming off of injury.
They don't even have a quarterback coming back. I mean, where's the real unknowns here? Where are the real unknowns? Do we know what Jimmy G is going to be? Do we know what he's going to be? We don't know.
You're naming teams that have defenses, and defenses win championships, right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, the issue was never scoring with Dallas.
Right.
So we've done our best to right the ship. If anything, you're going to make an assumption that we did that. So I don't know. We can disagree on that, but I believe the Cowboys are going to be much better than 11 best in the NFL.
All right, man. Got anything else, baby?
I do actually do. This is a barbecue holiday. A lot of people are on the grill doing these different things. I've traveled around, lived in Texas, lived in Colorado, lived in California. There seems to be a misconception about the definition of barbecuing. If I go to a barbecue and there's no barbecue, it ain't a barbecue. If it's just hamburgers and hot dogs on a grill, then you're just grilling hamburgers and hot dogs. That's not a barbecue. Don't say you're coming over and have barbecuing today if you don't have barbecue. So grill it or chill it. Can it be a barbecue if there is no barbecue, Michael?
I'm going to say chill it. There's no way in the world that that's possible, man. There's no way in the world that that's possible. And I do want to talk to you about whether barbecuing and grilling is worth the time and effort. We need to have that conversation real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If I'm being invited to a barbecue, that to me says that at the very least there's brisket or there's chicken. The very least, right?
Yep.
Hopefully there's more. But the thing is, man, I had this conversation with my mom the other day. She was like, "Hey, no one barbecued for Memorial Day." We had that conversation today. And I said, "Well, I'm not going to barbecue because I live pretty close to a Rudy's on 151. They do it better. I save myself some time, go over there. I don't smell like smoke too much. I don't have to be outside. So grill it or chill it, man. Going to a place like Rudy's or the Smoke Shack or something or someplace like that is better than being out in the sun all day long grilling."
I'm going to say chill it. I think there's still something about the experience of you doing your own marinade, your own meat. I'm a smoker, smoking that meat, doing that part. It just it's like a baker, but with meat. See, I think this keto has gotten to you. See, you're thinking if I got to be on the grill, it's going to be grilled asparagus. You're not going to really be thinking about getting no beef and
Oh no, you can have all that on keto.
Oh, you can?
You can have all the beef. You can have like I went to Rudy's yesterday.
What'd
I
you
got
have?
2 pounds of turkey. I got chicken. I got ribs. I got brisket. That's all on keto because it's all about protein.
Oh, you can't.
It's the carbs. It's the sides. The cream corn. Oh my
okay.
God! It was so upsetting me handing over the cream corn to my kids. But I mean, there's different ways of doing keto in the sense that you can do the fatty way or the lean way, and I try to go towards the lean way. But man, if I want to go home and have a sausage link, I can have a sausage link. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I do know the labors. I mean, I myself, I drove my mother out to Luling this past weekend to go get barbecue at City Market. So I did that. So that saved me from the labors of doing that as well. So I can get that part of it too. It's nice to have it just already ready made.
Yeah, and I have a friend, George Montalvo, a former coworker of mine, and about 10 years ago, I thought to myself, you know what? I really need to learn how to barbecue. Really need to learn how to grill. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I guess it's just a manly thing to want to learn how to do, right? And I asked him, I said, "Hey, come over to my place, and we'll make this happen, right?" So I told him. He says, "Well, when do you want to eat?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe like Saturday night around 6 or 7." And he goes, "Cool." So I'm picturing George coming over to my house at like, I don't know, noon or 2 the next day. We'll watch a little college football or something, and he shows up like 6 p.m. the night before, telling me that we need to like marinate it for 18 hours and we need to do this, that, and the other. And I was like, for meat? Really? And I know Jason Minix, who we're filling in for, is like all into that. He is into smoking and all that stuff. He would probably be so disappointed with me by saying that. But I'm just looking at it going, that's a lot of time, man. That's a lot of time being spent. And I eat so fast. It'll take me like 8 minutes to like finish everything.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You ask someone to come over and say, teach me, like you're calling Yoda over, like teach me to barbecue. It doesn't happen overnight. This is years and years. To be a Jedi, to barbecue doesn't come by.
Teach me karate without side to side and paint the fence, okay? I don't want to wax on, wax off. Just teach me the karate, man.
2 things you can't learn overnight. Being a spades player and barbecuing. Man, that takes time and error. Trust me, I know. I'm still working on the brisket. I make brisket, but I'm not a brisket maker. And there's a difference.
You mentioned spades. I was on Time Hop, where it shows you all your Facebook posts from years in the past. 4 years ago, I had a thing with my dad where we were playing dominoes. And I thought it was going to be the first time I was ever going to beat him because we were going to play up to a certain number, I think like 300 or 400. And it's a holiday, it's Memorial Day. And man, I am just talking so much smack. I'm like, I'm finally going to beat you. I'm finally going to beat you. And out of nowhere, he just came and just annihilated me. And the meme, the emoji of the face palm.
Yep.
That was my photo. I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe I lost. I felt like the Atlanta Falcons losing the Super Bowl when they were up 28-3 at halftime.
Wow.
There was no way in the world I was supposed to lose that game. But man, my dad, I've never beaten him at dominoes. I don't think I ever will.
That sounds like domino playing as well. I mean, you got to be a domino player, and the strategy is all the way to the end. So you get held holding the bones, and that person's going to close it out. Speaking of closing out, we got to go pay some bills. So when we come back, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, man, because they're doing a little bit of craziness, in my opinion. You might not think so, but there's a little bit of craziness going on with how they're handling this offseason. Talk about Cowboys OTAs when we come back. This is the Blitz on 1250 AM, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Love the Saturday morning hangover? Well, watch along every Saturday morning from 9 to 11. You can watch the show live at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
You're a weekend do-it-yourselfer who likes to tackle the big jobs, tree removal, digging, hauling, or cleaning up a job site. For those big jobs, you need big equipment, and at Ewald Kubota, renting equipment is a breeze. Dependable Kubota construction equipment, tractors, zero-turn mowers, or utility vehicles. Get it done right and get it done fast. Right now, all new rental customers get a 10% discount off their first rental. This is the Ewald Kubota way of saying welcome. For a store near you, visit ewaldkubota.com.
Hey renters, it's Ty Pennington for Guaranteed Rate. Stop paying your landlord's mortgage every month. Look, mortgage rates are still historically low, so go to rate.com now to get a mortgage on your first home and upgrade your life. Like a legit home office, a new deck for summer, maybe a pool, you name it. Guaranteed Rate can help you go from renting to buying like crazy fast. Start at rate.com today. That's rate.com.
Equal housing lender, subject to credit approval. Company NMLS ID 2611, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
Wendy's Frosty Chino is cold brew with frosty creamer. What does that mean? It means we took rich, smooth cold brew and then added your choice of vanilla or chocolate frosty creamer. Can you say good morning? Or better yet, Wendy's Frosty Chino? It's cold brew with frosty creamer. It's only at Wendy's and it's delicious. So ditch the stuffy coffee shop and say hasta la vista, barista. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Frosty Chino and start your morning right.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Summer means longer days and sometimes longer weekends. Make the most of yours with Memorial Day savings now at the Home Depot. In-store, online, store-wide. Get grilling and saving with a 5-burner Next Grill for only $199. Regularly $249. Save on everything from mulch to mowers. Ready, set, summer. Memorial Day savings. Here now, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done while supplies last.
It's all about getting the most out of summer. And with certified refurbished from eBay, you can enjoy 100% of summer with up to 50% savings on top brands, plus a 15% off coupon through Memorial Day. So tackle your to-do list and break out the playlist with like new products from the brands you love. We're talking Bose, Works, iRobot, and more, all at up to 50% savings. And now through Memorial Day, get an extra 15% off coupon to save even more with certified refurbished. Shop Memorial Day savings at eBay today.
You are listening to The Blitz, and we're back. I'm Quinn Hudson with Michael Jimenez filling in for Rob and Jason today. We are regularly your Sunday sports grill team from 11 to 1, but today we're filling in on The Blitz, and we're having some fun on this Memorial Day. Hopefully you are too, as we're putting a bow on this afternoon as we go through it. Michael, what's up?
Man, we've got a 3-hour show. We normally go for 2 hours. But man, we got an hour and 15 left in the show. We're going to 7 o'clock today on the Blitz. This is a great way to spend the holiday, man.
I'm enjoying it.
So speaking of holidays, this is the time of the season that football fans get really excited, right? Because the NFL draft has already come and gone, right? The Cowboys got Micah Parsons. They didn't get that cornerback that they were expecting to get, but Micah Parsons was a really good pickup there, right? I like him. I think he's going to have a long career with the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
He addresses some needs, not the secondary, but he addresses some needs, especially with Sean Lee retiring.
Yes.
But this is the time of the year where Cowboy fans get excited because, OTAs start, and soon enough, we're going to have training camp. But it was kind of interesting last week because with the OTAs, Cowboy fans were getting really excited on Twitter.
It's our year.
Yeah, it's every year, right?
That's right.
26 years running.
Yes.
But the thing is that you notice that when the Cowboys are doing their OTAs, it looks like a full-on training camp, man. They're running plays, learning schemes, learning routes. They're doing all sorts of things like that, almost as though COVID never happened, right? They're living their best pre-COVID lives because they're training that way. They're training the old-fashioned way, right? But a lot of teams out there are not doing it that way. I'm wearing a New Orleans Saints shirt. That's my team. And what are the Saints doing? The Saints are saying, "No, man, we're not going out there to do plays. We're not running schemes right now. What we're doing is we're doing weightlifting. We're getting in shape. We're losing weight. Some people are gaining weight. We're working on endurance right now, whereas the Cowboys are working on the X's and O's of football." But it got me thinking. Well, first of all, I'm going to ask you, do you like the way the Cowboys are approaching this season with their OTAs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the fact that they're doing that because look, I can't speak for all of the NFL teams, but what I do know is if you're a Cowboy fan, you know this to be true. We didn't tackle well, we didn't block well, we didn't cover well, we didn't catch well. So basically, all of the fundamental things that a Pop Warner League team would be doing, the Cowboys need to be better at. So now you have a healthier offensive line. You're going to have new pieces in the offensive line. You're going to have new pieces on the defense up front. You're adding people in the secondary and their linebacking core. So we've got a new defensive coordinator and Dan Quinn coming in. So I do believe collectively the Cowboys do need to get back to the basics. Adding Dak back isn't just going to change those things because there were a lot of problems the Cowboys had before Dak was injured that Dak was not a part of. So yes, we need to see them back to the fundamentals of basics. That's what the Cowboys need to do. I want to see them going through it like as if they need to go through it like there is no pandemic.
I see what you're saying. Okay. And as a Cowboy fan, I would be excited. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm a Saints fan. Okay. The thing is that as a fan, I would be excited because it's like, man, we're seeing Dak out there running routes. He's using his legs a little bit. His arm is there. He's standing up. He's not in crutches. He's not in a boot. It's exciting to watch, right? But the one thing that I look at is we're going into a season for the first time ever that will have 17 games. It's a long season as it is. And this got me thinking of the famous Mike Tyson quote where it says, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." And what does that have to do with the Cowboys? I think this is all a good plan for the Cowboys to do until one of their big players gets hurt. And I think when you're running an OTA like this, you increase the odds of that happening. Fair or foul?
I think that's fair to have that concern, but there are certain things that are unavoidable. It is, at the end of the day, it's a contact sport. It's a very violent sport, and that's going to happen. We've seen where players didn't play the entire preseason, coming on the first week of the year, and then tear an Achilles heel or an ACL or MCL. There's just different things that happen, and injuries are going to be a part of the game. We've seen non-contact injuries where players go down. So to me, I feel like you're not going to be able to avoid that by being overly cautious. You got to have your prepared readiness for game one without the preseason, and the contact's going against the defense. And I don't think you can be cautious with that. You can't prevent injuries by trying to prevent injuries, if that makes sense. So to me, the most important part is to have the continuity on your offensive line, is to defense to be able to act instinctively, know what Dan Quinn's new system being integrated. Hey, Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch were not great last year. So I think they absolutely need the reps as well, along with the new additions, moving Sean Lee out, adding Parsons. To me, I think they need those reps. So I'm excited about them going at it. I want them going full tilt and ready to go.
I want to see the Cowboys incorporate Tony Pollard into the offense this year. Zeke Elliott, if you just look at his stats, his figures over the course of his career has just been on the decline every year after year after year. And if it declines any more, then he's not even worthy of a starting running back position. So having Dak back into the lineup is obviously a big thing. And then I ask myself this question. At the end of the day, who's the leader on the field? The leader on the field is Dak Prescott. And at the end of the day, he says he's all about this, that he's perfectly happy with the OTAs because he says that he needs it for his health, his psyche, his confidence. So I guess the Cowboys are doing the right thing, but man, if they have an injury to Amari Cooper out there, a CD Lamb, if they have an injury to Zeke or Pollard or something like that, when they could have been taken a little bit easier, that would be a very, very tough pill to swallow, but it's exciting to watch, man. They're on the field. Hey, when we come back, we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs and reliving some glory days. This is The Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and on ESPNSA.com.
The Dallas Cowboys addressed the defense in the draft. What do you think of the Cowboys draft?
What does Riddick continue to say? You build your team inside out from front to back. And I'll stick with it. The future of the Cowboys, it's if they can pull 2 starters, then this will be a success. Everything that they have worked for this long, weird year will have been a success.
How will Dan Quinn's defense look?
You're shoring up a run defense that was awful last year.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7. For everything Dallas Cowboys. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide. And we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's San Antonio area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half, that feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
I'm Dustin Tatro, organist of the Texas Rangers, and this is your home of Rangers baseball. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM KZDC San Antonio.
Jason Minutes, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz on ESPN San Antonio, 1250 AM, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. My name is Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champ, joined by our reigning Rock the Mic champ. He got a motorcycle because of it, Quinn Hudson. We're filling in for Jason and Rob today on this Memorial Day. Quinn, love holidays, man.
Man, it's nice.
I love holidays. Now, holidays, 2 things in San Antonio. We honor the brave men and women who died in the line of duty, right? So that is Memorial Day. But for sports fans, it is the 22-year anniversary of this.
Into Sean Elliott. He fires the 3 and hits it! His 6th of the game! What a shot! Bob, it looked like he was going to step out of bounds. He caught it and tight-roped the sideline.
Woo-hee, baby. The Memorial Day Miracle turned 22 years old today.
Man.
Thank you, Sean Elliott. We thank you every year for that. On the anniversary, we have to thank you because what happened after that? The Spurs were up 1-0 against the Blazers in the Western Conference Finals in 1999. Let's think about this, Quinn. The Spurs did not have an NBA title at that point, right?
Right.
Had not had a title at that point. Up 1-0 in the series, but down 2 in the last minute of the game. And Sean Elliott not only made that three-pointer, but how his heels never hit the ground. How the official saw that. We make fun of officials all day long about how bad they are at their job sometimes. But you took a look at that. His heel didn't hit the ground, and the ref saw that and thought, nope, he's still in. He's still in. And it went through the hoop.
It's everything in that play. It's everything. It's the inbound, the pass to him where only he could get the ball, the catch, the turn, the keep the heels in place, the overly extending Rasheed Wallace in the air is reaching out to block this shot where he had the trajectory of the shot had to go out the arc of the shot. It is one of the greatest shots of all time in NBA history. When you think about all of the things, the ramifications, if he doesn't hit the shot, what happens after that, what was needed, where they were in that game, and what had to happen. Like that was the only play that could be made in that moment. It was absolutely euphoric. And for people in San Antonio, that was like the start of something truly special where I think everybody believed. I think the next day there wasn't a car on 410 that didn't have a flag. Spurs go.
That is when that's when the Spurs became the team of destiny.
Yeah.
When you get plays like that, when you're playing with house money, because it should be tied 1-1, but all of a sudden it's 2-0, the gut punch that you gave the other team. There are different levels and degrees of losses. And this was a terrible loss for the Trailblazers.
I agree.
And I hate to say it this way, but you talk about Rasheed Wallace and some of the players that they had on their team. They didn't have the mental edge at all. They wore their emotions on their sleeves.
They did.
And they didn't have that ability to compose themselves. The Spurs went on to sweep that series and won the first title against the New York Knicks. Little General Avery Johnson with that big shot on the baseline there, 15-footer. Let me ask you this. Which do you think is the bigger shot in Spurs history? Is it the Memorial Day Miracle, or do you think it's Avery's jumper to basically seal the deal for the title?
I'm going to say Sean's was greater because of the moment of what it would have changed the entire series. If Avery doesn't make that shot, I don't believe that it would change how the overall outcome. But Sean needing to make that shot in that moment changed it. That Portland team, as you stated, very talented, very brash, very arrogant. They feared no one. They played a nasty style, a very aggressive defense. They were very boisterous and taunting and got technicals and just embodied that play. And here come the Spurs, consummate professionals doing it the right way. Haven't made it, in the years of David Robinson, just hadn't gotten over that hump. So yeah, the magnitude of it, the Memorial Day Miracle is truly special.
Christopher Lewis on Facebook Live responded with, we were at my little brother's high school graduation and a few of us were listening on our Walkman.
Wow.
And there were cheers in the crowd, me being one of them. And it was a funny experience at the time. And when we saw it on replays, it was even more crazy. It's so difficult to describe how that play works. I will go ahead and say that probably is the greatest play in Spurs history for the reasons that you said, because Avery, knocked down that jumper, but you're right. The Spurs would have won that title anyway. They were better than the Knicks were. I look at it this way. I remember having a conversation with Rob and Jason about this on air when I was on the Rock the Mic competition, and they had me in here, and they asked me the question, what is the greatest moment that you ever had as a Spurs fan, or as a sports fan in general? And I mentioned the fact that I remember going to one of the finals games in 1999, and it was the last one before it went to New York. And it was so awkward and weird and exciting to be a Spurs fan, knowing that we've never won a title before, but knowing that it's not coming back, man. It's not coming back. We're winning it over there. And people in the stands were crying, hugging each other, holding each other, and some of these people were strangers. And it was one of those things where it didn't matter your political affiliation, your ethnicity, your race, your socioeconomic status. It didn't matter any of that. Everyone just loved each other that day. And it's so great to go back in time and think about that and knowing that I was part of that.
Yeah.
That I was part of that by being there in the stands. And I remember years later, 2014, when the Spurs won their 5th title, my wife, I remember telling her, I said, babe, I know we're really low on money this month or we're kind of tight, but I really need to spend some money to get some Spurs tickets for the finals. And I remember saying this. I remember saying, this might be the last time in my lifetime that I'll ever be at a Spurs final. And I remember her giving me a look like, what do you mean? The Spurs have won, have been in the finals 5 other times. And that doesn't come around all the time, especially for a team that's a small market team like San Antonio. And I'm so glad that I spent money that day to go to the finals because I went to every single year that the Spurs won a title. I went to at least one of the games.
Nice.
And I look at it this way. It's been 7 years since the last title. You as a Cowboy fan, it's been a long time since 96.
Long time, man.
25, 26 years now.
Yep.
But I can always know that no matter if I'm 44 years old today, 54 years old, 10 years from now, 84 years old, 40 years from now, I'll always have those memories of being a Spurs fan when they had their dynasty. And it's such a pleasure. And now going back in time or fast forwarding in time rather, looking at like Tim Duncan making the Hall of Fame. And then after that, it's going to be Manu. And then after that, it's going to be Tony. We're going to have back-to-back years.
Oh, yeah.
First ballot Hall of Famers. Book it. And then after that, it's going to be Pop.
Man. It's going to be nice. At least, look, what's so great about it is you can go back to the Memorial Day Miracle, but all that's tethered to that is you have these memories that you stacked on top of that and the success of the Spurs. So your sports memories are cemented. My greatest sports moment was Game 6. I was with the Texas Rangers in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. My boss could not go. I had an account there in St. Louis, and he's like, "Hey, look, you're going to already be there. I hate to not be able to go. You get to go." I ended up taking the clients in his place, so I got to go. I couldn't wear my Texas Rangers gear because I was actually taking like the vice president of this cable company, and they were obviously big, fans, St. Louis fans. So they I had to. They knew I was for the Rangers though, and there I was at the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs and 2 strikes, and I was literally filming because I wanted to capture the moment on this next out that was going to win the championship. And here comes that hit that hit to the right field, and Freeze makes this hit, and you just watch this steamroll, and literally people were leaving Busch Stadium. The Cardinals fans thought they had lost this game, and then people started coming back in, and they taunted us all away because I found some Texas Rangers fans. So my greatest sports memory was not great, and we didn't have tickets to the 7th game. So it was just, that was it. That was my one memory. And I was there to watch one of the most monumental collapses in World Series history by my beloved Texas Rangers.
Oh man. It's we've gone from the highs of highs of talking about the Memorial Day Miracle and talking about the Spurs winning the title, and now you're talking about that stomach punch of of the agony of defeat.
Oh yeah.
Probably my agony of defeat was when I was like 14 or 15 years old. My dad bought me tickets to a playoff football game. I was a huge Houston Oilers fan. Okay. Ask me who my favorite football player of all time is. I'll probably tell you Ernest Givens.
Nice.
I love number 81, man. Electric slide when he scored a touchdown. I swear that anytime I played flag football or football in the street with my friends, and I scored a touchdown, I did the electric slide.
Nice.
Ernest Givens, man. How they never won the Super Bowl, I'll never understand, man, because we had Warren Moon throwing the ball to Givens, Drew Hill, Haywood Jeffries, and Curtis Duncan. Oh my God, that team was loaded. You had Rozier, you had Pinkett, that defense with Ray Childress and Dishman, and oh my God, Bubba McDowell. I am suddenly 14 years old again, but my dad and I went to the Astrodome and saw them play a playoff game and lose to the Steelers. And I think the Steelers had a backup quarterback at the time. I think it was Bubby Brister or something like that.
Oh man,
that led them to the win. And I just remember being thankful that my dad bought me those tickets for, like, I don't know if it was Christmas or something like that. I was thankful for that, but man, I got my heart broken that day. And it happens when you go to sports games.
Yeah.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But those are memories that I'll always remember.
Yeah, and you know what? Now that as you walking me through these memories, I have to say probably my greatest moment was being there in the Alamo Dome, watching Jesse James Leha defeat Azuma Nelson. Like, that was an epic moment for me. That was great. I was sitting 2 seats behind Evander Holyfield, watching that particular fight, and watching that, seeing the city of San Antonio and the pride of San Antonio, seeing James Leha do what he did on that stage. You just felt it was the Rocky story.
Yeah,
it was a Rocky story come to life in San Antonio, which was phenomenal to be there to see it.
One quick boxing story, and this is a Las Vegas hack for those of you out there. Several years ago, I think it was like 2012, 2013. I told my wife that I wanted to knock off an item off my bucket list. So I played a World Series of Poker event, not the $10,000 major one, but it was like a $1,000 or $1,500 one. And I outlasted 80% of the field, almost cashed. So there were 2,800 players, and I got down to the final 600. And the hand that knocked me out, oh my God, I was like a 96% favorite on. And I should have won that. And I would have cashed had I won that hand, because people were dropping like flies. I bring that up because you mentioned something about boxing. Well, my goal in the World Series of Poker was to win one hand in the last 2 hours. That was my personal goal, but I was 13 hours in, had a dinner break. It was good times. And I couldn't find my friend afterwards. So I went back to my hotel because I told him I'm going to be knocked out in the first 2 hours. That's just the way it is. And I ended up going to my hotel, crashing, falling asleep, waking back up. Couldn't find my friend. I went and sat down, played Pai Gow poker. I won a bonus on my second hand of $1,500, which got me all my money back. So I finally found my friend, and Manny Pacquiao was fighting Timothy Bradley that night.
Oh, wow.
And I said, let's go get tickets. But tickets were super expensive in Vegas for that fight. It was like $1,200, $1,500 per ticket. And I told my friend, I'll get us in. And the hack is this: I always hang out by the exits, because something's going to happen to a spectator where they can't go or they can't stay, family emergency, get called into work or something. And my friend was so pissed at me because the undercard was over. And he's like, we can't even get into a bar. We can't even do that right now because, all the seats are taken. And not only we're not watching the fight in person, we're not even going to be able to watch it on TV. And he was pissed at me. Well, wouldn't you know it? I said, just have some faith, man. Have some faith. And wouldn't you know it? This couple comes out. And I said, hey, are y'all leaving? They're like, yeah, I got called into work. And I said, hey, I'm looking for a souvenir. I'll buy your ticket stub off you. And long story short, his girlfriend realized what we were doing, that we were trying to get into the fight. So she was trying to jack up the price. And I said, look, I offer you $280 for 2 tickets. Your girlfriend, very attractive. She knows what she's talking about, but no one's going to be offering you $400 for a piece of cardboard. So take her out next time on us. We go in there not even knowing where we're going to be seated. We're down in the 12th row. It was fantastic, man. Fantastic. And that's not the only time I've ever done that at the MGM Grand. I've done that. That's a hack. Go to a boxing match, and you never know what seat you're going to get, but just hang out. Someone's going to leave.
That's exactly what happened. I lived in Los Angeles. I used to go down to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and I saw Texas play Alabama for that very reason. They came carrying out some people that drank too much. Guy literally gave me his lanyard, and I had no idea what those seats were. As he's walking out, he gave me a lanyard. As he was taking his drunken buddies out, we went in. We sat on a 20-yard line right in the heart of the Alabama seating section.
Fantastic, man. God, I love being a sports fan.
I know it.
I love it. Hey, when we come back, talk more sports, obviously. We're going to go into some NBA action, talk about tonight's games, talk about the Lakers, man. How much in trouble are they? What about Julio Jones? Man, Julio Jones making some noise about where he possibly might want to play. He called an all-pro quarterback. Oh, man, how did that news break? And then later on, we're going to talk about, can a war movie be about something that's not a real war? Good conversation for Memorial Day. This is The Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Hoops and Hype, The Post Up with Brendan Medina and Jack Thompson, a basketball anthology. The culture from the court to kicks for the discerning fan. The Post Up, Fridays at 7 after the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Howdy, San Antonio. Chip Ingram from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, inviting you to come out and enjoy patio season. We have newly remodeled patios, garage doors, and everything else you need to enjoy this great South Texas weather. As always, ice-cold beer and specialty drinks. Happy hours daily from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and our kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. See you soon at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redwood Road.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies and our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Jess's 30-minute bike boot camp? I guess it's that kind of day.
Are you ready for a total body workout, Peloton fam?
I am.
We'll start the class on the bike and then move to the floor. Let's get it.
With Peloton instructors right in your home,
Are you feeling it yet? Let's keep pushing for 5.
you have motivation that's ready when you are.
Clip off that bike and meet me on the mat for lunges.
I got this.
You showed up today, Peloton. Who's feeling sweaty and strong?
Definitely me.
Tap into your motivation at onepeloton.com.
Nya nya nya. Ba. Ba. Babue. Zimbabwe. The broken Bunsen burner burns so bright. Southeast Asian Peninsula.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes.
I think the only line we need from you today is drivers who switch to progressive could say big.
Cool. I just got to finish my warm-ups. Foul, throw in the towel. History.
Switch to Progressive today.
Santa ski slalom in a salmon skin suit.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? You can try new Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore your gums back to health in just 7 days.
Get ready for summer at Banana Republic Factory with 50 to 70% off everything. Discover new styles for all your sun-filled adventures, including easy tops, fresh shorts, and more from $9.99. Journey to your nearest store or shop online. Only at Banana Republic Factory.
As a dentist, I know what my patients are saying.
Mm-hmm.
She says her gums are irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can do? You can try new Crest Advanced Gum Restore. It detoxifies below the gum line to restore your gums back to health in just 7 days.
The Memorial Day sale is here. 50 to 70% off almost everything. Plus flip-flops from $4, tees from $8, dresses from $12, and more summer-style deals. Shop it all through May 31st at Gap Factory and gapfactory.com.
Win 4 tickets plus parking to see the San Antonio Flying Chanclas of the Texas Collegiate League. Go to www.milb.com/San Antonio/tickets to get your tickets, or just keep it locked in on the Blitz to win them. Another reason to play and listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day. Hey, my name's Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champion, joined by Quinn Hudson, our reigning Rock the Mic champion. We're filling in for Rob and Jason. Normally, you would hear us on the Sunday Sports Grill from 11 to 1 on Sundays. We talk about sports, pop culture, nostalgia. You know, it's a fun, well-balanced show. We have fun doing it, right? And earlier today, we were talking about the fact that it's Memorial Day. You know, a lot of us had the day off today, so spent time with family. And my wife looked at me around 10 this morning and said, or around 9:30 this morning, and she was like, so we staying home today? What are we doing? And I said, let's go to the movies. And she's like, what do you want to watch? And I said, Cruella. And I think she's a little bit surprised because, you know, I don't do fantasy movies. I don't do Disney movies. I don't do this, that, and the other. But I saw Emma Stone. I'd been watching the previews and I thought to myself, I cannot wait to watch that movie. So who reached out to us? Jeff Garcia of Spurs Zone.
That's my guy, man. That's my guy.
Locked
yes.
on Spurs. He's always on the Blitz. He's on Saturday Morning Hangover. He's on the Sunday Sports Grill. And he basically said, did you really like it? And he said, how many stars would you give it out of 4? I said, about 7. Okay. I'd give it 7 stars out of 4. And so people are reaching out to us basically saying, Mark H says, I liked it. And the soundtrack is top tier. Very true. Now, it's not so much that it is the songs in the movie like we've never heard them before. Okay. It was just a really good collection of songs, basically from the 60s. Danny Ruiz reached out to us on Twitter, says it really is good. I was very pleasantly surprised and fantastic. It is not only on theaters, it's on Disney Plus with Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, phenomenal as well.
Oh, man.
And one of the dudes from, he's a comedian. I'm going to forget his name. But he's also in Cobra Kai. He played the main character in that Richard Jewell movie.
I didn't see the Richard Jewell movie.
Richard Jewell movie is pretty good. I have that on heavy rotation. Do you when you work from home, right?
Yes.
So when you work from home, do you have like a list of movies that you have just kind of on rotation in the background?
No. But I can go to like HBO Max on demand and just pull up things or Amazon and just dive into it. I mean, like Harlem Nights always stays ready.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men always stays in the rotation. 300. I can watch that at any time. 48 Hours. It's another movie that's great. It never loses that. Super Bad, yeah.
Emma Stone.
Oh yeah. Step Brothers.
Don't make fun of my rotation. My rotation's typically when I'm working like Anchorman.
Okay.
I'll have Old School, Swingers,
Nice.
Office Space, Pitch Perfect. I love the Pitch Perfect movies. Don't hold that against me.
No.
I'll watch Fight Club a lot in the background.
Very dark.
Very dark. The Matrix, Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, great.
Those are movies that, just while I'm working at home, slinging those investments and insurances, I have that in the background. So we were talking during the break about things that we did in the past for Memorial Day or just for holidays in general over the summer.
Yes.
And you mentioned an experience that you had, I think it was at the zoo.
Yes.
Back in the day that you said will never happen again.
Never.
Well, what's going on?
First of all, legally, it'll never happen again because I don't even know how they would even take on this liability. But when I was 8 years old, and my mother to this day says this was all because I wanted to do it. She says she had concerns, but because I was basically throwing a tantrum, she's like, okay. So they used to have at the San Antonio Zoo, and in all due respect, San Antonio Zoo, phenomenal zoo for anybody listening that works for the organization or for the city, for the San Antonio Zoo is great, but they had elephant rides. And let me just say, if you just know the makeup of an elephant is not conducive to what a saddle or a basket would be on the back of an elephant. So they had what was the equivalence of a basket saddle.
Yeah.
That was strapped onto this elephant. Now, if you just watch an elephant walk, it's not a fluid walk. So with every step that the elephant made, everybody in the basket shifted all the way right, all the way left. It was like riding a slow electronic bull on the low, so that you were literally doing like the least movements of every time over rocks. It wasn't even over grass. Not that the fall from 15 feet would have been safe on grass, but this was not safe. There were no seat belts. There was no there was no harness. We stepped into a basket and it was like on the way and somebody's guiding the elephant. We were just one bad day of a rat or something running in front of the elephant stampeding from being on a YouTube clip.
I want to say that I did that, but maybe my mind has blocked it, as
For
a
good reason.
as a memory that I want to forget. I think my fear of heights started with that whole Brackenridge gondola. Did you ever do that one? That one that was where that ride
The
that was
sky ride?
Yeah,
Over that rickety
yes. Dude, I think my fear of heights started there because how did we survive that? How was it not in the news that one of those suckers didn't just fall off?
When it went over the ridges to make the switch, it did not look like it was working properly. How do they audit this? What kind of
Yeah.
How do they ensure this upkeep on that is? I don't see it.
And we were doing this on school field trips half the time. Okay. Rob Thompson mentioned the other day about going on road trips and things that road trips aren't the same anymore. I remember growing up, driving to California and then going from, visiting family over there. But we had a pickup truck that had a camper on it. And I remember, my uncle had one and I would sleep on top of the camper. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, like on top of the cab?
Yeah.
Yeah. It had like a mattress up there. If we were ever in an accident, I would have been launched, dude. I would have been launched.
You would have been the weapon they use in the old war movies that would catapult to knock down the castles.
Dude, just the idea that I slept above the cab, not only by myself, but with my sister and then my cousins. Dude, that is stuff that'll never, ever, ever happen
Not
again.
that it matters, but were you sleeping head first or feet first?
Head first. Oh my God. My kids will never see that. They get on Southwest Airlines, they get on Delta. They'll never know the joys of Holiday Road, 1,400 miles to California. My dad trying to break an all-time record of, I'm going to get there in 23 hours. We'll never experience that.
No, and they're better for it.
Hey, man, let's get back into some sports. NBA action today. Got the Jazz going against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have the opportunity to tie it back up. Kind of gone back and forth, man. Who do you got tonight?
I've got Utah. I really believe that Donovan Mitchell coming back has just changed the whole makeup of that team. They did a great job of playing in his absence, but now you see with Donovan Mitchell there, Gobert's playing better. It spaces the floor. They have to pay attention to Donovan Mitchell, and I think Memphis is just overmatched. They're young, talented, but they're overmatched.
Man, I'm cheering for the Grizzlies. I want the Jazz to win. I even have a bet. I have a $30 bet that the Jazz and the Suns are going to win the title this year. So I've got two teams in it right now. Got them both at around 8 to 10 to 1 odds right now. Got that in Vegas a couple months ago. But the thing is that I like this Grizzlies team. That's the next step that the Spurs need to take, is to be similar to the Grizzlies and then make their way back up to be closer to Dallas, and kind of, because it's not going to happen overnight, right? Talk about the Eastern Conference. It just seems like there's that collision course going on between the Bucks and the Nets. Are you looking forward to that? And who do you think would win that matchup?
I am looking forward to it, and I really do think that the Bucks are fighting their own demons here. A lot of people have low expectations with the Bucks because they've fallen short in the past. We can't look past the fact that it was a Kawhi-led Toronto team that unearthed them the first time. Last year, they definitely played disappointing, but the addition of Drew Holiday has made them great. Look, Brook Lopez has been special. Bobby Portis is a nice additional big. PJ Tucker, I do believe they have all the pieces to challenge the Nets. And I think defensively, they're going to be a problem, and they're going to be a matchup problem. So I do believe they can beat the Nets. And I think people are underestimating Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I think the Nets have the advantage, but I'm really going for the Bucks. I think they do have a chance, especially with Middleton playing so well, because, Giannis needs to have that second star with him. And Middleton kind of just disappeared last year during the playoffs. But now he's upped his game. Giannis is doing well. And I just think that I'm cheering for them because it's small market ball. They are the cousins of the Spurs in many, many ways. They have that number 15 draft pick, right? They got Giannis 15th in the draft. They built around him. He didn't bail when his contract was up. He re-upped with the team. They building a championship contender instead of buying one. So, yeah, I think if I had my life depended on it, I'd say the Nets would probably win. But my heart says that the Bucks can win, and that they have the weapons finally. And the way that they destroyed the Heat, who were in the finals last year, the way it destroyed them shows that they've come to play. And now they have time to rest. So they've got some time. So I think the Bucks are in a good position, because also a lot about health. We've been saying that with the Mavericks, with Doncic's injury, and you have Davis's injury with the Lakers, Chris Paul getting better. It just seems to be, if you are healthy, you have a shot. When we come back, let's talk about some more NFL. Julio Jones, future Hall of Fame wide receiver, more than likely, right? Future Hall of Famer. He called a Pro Bowl quarterback just out of the blue, saying, hey, maybe I'd like to play with you. We'll tell you who that quarterback is, what team that is, and whether it'd be a good matchup. This is the Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
There's only one way to do Saturdays, with a Saturday morning hangover. James Pledger and Jack Thompson getting you ready for all the weekend's games and then some. Saturday mornings, 9 p.m. San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Jason Minix here for Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, there's no better place to go than Ancira. I can tell you firsthand because I am a longtime Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, including one that I have now. My daughter's car is from Ancira, so is my niece's. Half the people at the radio station drive Ancira vehicles, and it's because of how well Ancira takes care of you before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available, and you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
O'Reilly. Get more miles on the road with O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system means better gas mileage for your car. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Injector Cleaner for $8. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. For a clean, lubricated, more fuel-efficient system, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 33.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Napa know-how.
Why get a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $27.99? Great question. Do you like getting $10 prepaid gift cards? Do you enjoy your car working? Do you love being called a genius? Who doesn't? Pick up Mobil 1 for $27.99 and get a $10 gift card. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 5/31/21.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 33.
You're listening to The Blitz. I'm Quinn Hudson with Michael Jimenez filling in for Rob and Jason on this Memorial Day holiday, as many people are winding down in their afternoons, listening in their cars, at home, poolside. We've been having some fun today talking about a lot of stuff, the NBA playoffs, things that are coming up. Seems to be some breaking news coming out. As you saw, if you watched the game yesterday, Anthony Davis goes down and with an injured groin, and it looks like Ed Warder is reporting that he's unlikely to play for Game 5.
Yep. Heard it from Woj as well and Shams as well. So, Anthony Davis not going to be there for tomorrow's game, or for Game 5, rather. That's a big loss because, as Quinn pointed out, that without Anthony Davis, the Lakers were not even a playoff team with LeBron.
That's right.
So, yeah, they're in trouble.
They are, and I think this is going to be one of those weird situations where a lot of the players, I do believe that the collection of talent, I actually like the players. I like Schroeder a lot. I like Kuzma. Kuzma did well when LeBron was out. I just don't think he has an identity when he's playing alongside LeBron. He doesn't know, he defers so often that he's not playing instinctively.
Kuzma's the Lakers' Lonnie Walker.
Ooh.
Because there's so inconsistent with the minutes that they give him.
Yeah.
They can ball out, they can play.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where I don't blame Kuzma. I don't blame Lonnie Walker because they don't get the run that they should be getting. And think about it this way. I mean, for Kuzma, he has been with that team so long and no one's wanted him. They've always been trying to improve the positions that he plays. And, just from psychologically, that's just got to be just awful. I mean, the benefit, though, is that he's on a championship contending team and he gets to live in LA.
Yeah, and the irony is, though, there were several trades that were, even New Orleans, if I understand, wanted Kuzma in the trade, and they weren't willing to part ways with him, thinking that he would be the integral third piece to go with LeBron and whoever they brought in. So that seems to be where the miss is when you have moving parts. You got to know who you're going to have. Speaking of knowing who you're going to have, I know someone who knows who they're not going to have. Julio Jones is not going to be in an Atlanta Falcons uniform next season.
Right.
Okay. It started out when I remember when you first brought up the fact, was it a big deal when he was seen in Dallas walking around with Dallas Cowboy hat on, which seemed like that was a sign of things to come. But now he gets on the phone and does a "what you doing" text to Russell Wilson. So
what you doing text?
Yeah, what you doing? You had OTAs, what you doing? Y'all having fun yet? Listen, first of all, the thought of Julio Jones with Lockett and Metcalf is unfair. That probably would be the greatest trio.
No. Cowboy fans don't believe that. They believe that Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Gallup is the trio to beat, right? So you're telling me that if Julio Jones joins the Seahawks,
yes,
that they're better. They have three better receivers.
Yes, collectively, yes, they do. So 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3. Yes,
you are losing Cowboy fan points.
Well, listen, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, but I'm also a realist, and you've got to look at it. Metcalf has a different type of fight than Cooper has. Okay, all right, let's just call that what it is. And then now you have Julio Jones. And with Gown, I mean, what two are you taking?
Can you imagine Julio Jones being a third receiver?
I really can't. Wow. I mean, who you matching up with him? That secondary's got to be pretty elite to be able to match up with this. You just back up and play at an umbrella prevent and you can tackle them underneath.
How many points would the Cowboys D allow to those three receivers?
I'll be thinking more on the offensive side. We got to put up points today, y'all. We got to be aggressive, 2-minute offense, all 4 quarters, baby. We got to do it. That's how they have to be. I really don't know. But they're talking about him going to Baltimore. Would Baltimore really benefit Julio Jones? Would he be happy playing with a kind of a run pass option quarterback?
Yeah, no, I don't see that as being a good option for him. One of the things is playing in Atlanta, he's been playing in a dome for so long. Seattle plays in a dome. Okay, or they play indoors, right? You take a look at Baltimore playing in the cold. It's very difficult, and we see Lamar Jackson. He slows down towards the end of the year because that's just what the weather does to you. You know, when there's snow, when it's wet, it takes away his advantage of his legs. So I don't think that's a good spot for him because I don't necessarily know if Lamar Jackson's first thought is to pass the ball. Not that he isn't a good passer. He's actually better than what most people think. But no, man, I don't see that as being a good spot for him.
San Francisco?
A better spot. I mean, that is outdoors, but it's also better weather. That's not, they have a really good defense. So yeah, that would be a good spot.
You're saying the Colts are a possibility as well?
Yeah. The Colts are one or two players away from really making a strong run.
I agree. They've got a defense in place. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, they got a new quarterback, so we know him really closely. So
Very much.
So I have a hard time, the Colts with Wentz. He needs he needs some more weapons. That would be a really good spot. It's indoors, it's in a dome. That makes sense to me. It does make sense. It's not, going from Atlanta to Indianapolis, just kind of, lifestyle wise is a little rough though.
Right. I have to believe that it's going to be a team that's got the draft picks more so than another elite player in trade from Julio Jones. I don't think Atlanta's looking to still contend at this point if they're parting with Julio Jones. You got Matty Ice and who else?
Are you part of that team that says do not trade within division or within conference?
If you're still competing. See, if you're still competing, then I say don't. But if you're blowing up the thing and starting over again, do you really care who? To me, it shouldn't matter at that point. Like, I have a problem with Dallas trading with the Washington football team.
No, they traded with the Eagles during the draft.
I have a problem with that too.
That was a good trade for the Cowboys.
I just feel like that's your only choices. That's all we had. That's the only one. The phone only rang once. Like that. It just seems like that. Even if it is self-serving, you don't want to do anything that's going to help the other franchises that are rivaling in your own division. No, not when you're both competing. Philadelphia still thinks they can win the NFC East.
What's interesting though is that Julio Jones joining the Seahawks, if he was to do that and have that tandem there with DK Metcalf and with Tyler Lockett, is that all three of them, when it comes to their fantasy relevance, would go down.
Oh, I totally agree.
There's only one football being thrown out there.
Oh yeah, and Russell Wilson makes the football play, so you're not going to be able to bank on how many points you're going to get statistically with those receivers, just like with the Cowboys. Dak doesn't either. Dak throws the ball around, makes safe throws. He really isn't trying to stretch it out. You can't bank that Cooper is going to be your bell cow on your fantasy as your number one receiver. I certainly wouldn't want anything. So to me, McCaffrey's probably another player I wouldn't want in my fantasy team either. I've been burned twice now with him. So there you go.
Oh, look at that. It's not even June yet. It'll be June in about 5 hours, but we're talking about fantasy football. It's starting to come around.
Yes.
So I had that Fantasy God show with Brandon Medina last year. Looks like it might be coming back. That'd be awesome. You'd be part of that. That'd be amazing. I'd love talking fantasy football. Hey, when we come back, we're going to put a bow on the show and talk a little bit about movies, because we've been talking about Memorial Day, and we talked about the greatest war movies that we've seen before. We talked about movies like Saving Private Ryan. Talked about Glory, Platoon, Apocalypse Now, Zero Dark 30. But we're going to take it to another level. And the other level is, does it actually have to be a real war for it to be, or an accurate war, in order for it to be a good war movie? You're listening to The Blitz on 1250 ESPN, 94.5 FM, and we're on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Scenic Views, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Every Friday on The Blitz, tune in as we get you ready for the sports weekend. What's on? Big games, intriguing matchups, how to watch them, and more. Scenic Views by Twin Peaks, every Friday on The Blitz.
This is Rob Thompson for Service First Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I want you to grab a pen. I want you to go write this down. 210-521-1500. 210-521-1500. Put Service First AC and Plumbing's phone number in your phone, because you live in San Antonio. It's already getting hot. It's only going to get hotter. An emergency's around the corner. And when it happens, I want you to have Service First AC and Plumbing in your phone ready to go. Because when you call them, you're calling the experts at emergencies. Yes, they're going to offer you the fastest service and same-day service calls all the time. They're family-owned and operated here in San Antonio, taking care of San Antonians for over 14 years. They specialize in emergency AC and plumbing. When it goes bad, when things go south, you call those that you trust, and that's Service First AC and Plumbing. 210-521-1500. Their website is servicefirstactx.com. You go there, you're going to see all kinds of 5-star reviews. What are you going to do when your office or your home AC goes out? You're going to call Service First AC and Plumbing because it's already in your phone. 210-521-1500. That emergency's coming. Be ready for it. Service First AC and Plumbing.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
For the ones standing guard, for the eagle-eyed, for the knights in shining armor, and for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dude, I have had a blast.
It's been good.
Filling in for Rob and Jason today. My name is Michael Jimenez, former Rock the Mic champion, with my main man, my partner in crime, Quinn Hudson, our reigning Rock the Mic champ. We've been filling in for the guys. Rumor has it we'll be back on Friday. I think Rob and Jason are enjoying those 3-day weekends. Not bad.
As do we.
Yes. This is so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
This is so much fun. We're doing this in the studio. We're no longer doing shows from home. We're back in the studio, and I hadn't been in the studio for about 1.5 years. So that was crazy. And Quinn had never been in the studio up until yesterday.
Brand new.
We've been doing this from home this entire time. Hey, we're going to end the show talking a little bit more about movies, because when we do the Sunday Sports Grill from 11 to 1 on Sundays, we like talking about pop culture, movies, music, nostalgic things. But you brought up an interesting point, and one of our listeners brought up an interesting point on Twitter when we were talking about the greatest war movies of all time. And some of these were pretty basic, like Saving Private Ryan, Platoon, Glory, things like that. Those are the classics, right? Mm-hmm. But someone brought up Red Dawn. And I was thinking to myself, is Red Dawn a real war movie? I mean, does it have to be? In order to be considered a great war movie, does it have to be A, accurate, B, realistic, or C, an actual real war?
What, you don't think an Afghan army can parachute down into Missouri and take over the Midwest of the United States?
It depends, right? Because I believe in the 1982, 83 version or 84 version, the Patrick Swayze version, I think that one was the Soviet Union and Cuba, I believe is what it was. And I think that the one from a few years ago was North Korea. And it's so funny because my wife brings up that movie, the whole scene of them being in school and having like the paratroopers parachute down. Cascading. She has nightmares about stuff like that.
Well, what's funny about that, real quick? When I was in elementary school in Greenville, Mississippi, no less, in addition to fire drills, we had nuclear war drills in our school.
Wow.
Now, don't ask me why we literally had, in case of a missile attack, we actually had procedures under wooden desk, by the way. We would basically have to get into like a storm, fallout procedure to take impact in case Russia or someone had sent missiles into the United States and we were under nuclear attack.
That is absolutely
so
crazy.
Somebody also saw this plot line of Red Dawn long before it happened.
Well, let's talk about some other movies that are very similar to that, right? So what about the movie Troy? Okay, so I'm a big fan of that movie. Eric Bana, Brad Pitt. It's a great movie. Okay, I enjoy that movie a lot, and it's like a very, very long movie, but it's not anything accurate. I mean, I guess that war actually existed between the Spartans and I don't know if it was the Athenians or who they were going up against. Apologies to those who are history buffs, but it's not accurate. Neither was Braveheart.
No, it wasn't.
Neither was Gladiator.
Nope, but there were battles.
But are they war movies?
I think they are. There were battles. There are legitimate battles that took place in these movies. So yeah, I think so.
Or what about like 300? I know you're a big fan of 300.
I am, and absolutely. Now it's not completely accurate with how the Persian army is portrayed in its pillaging. However, those battles did take place. So, for in its outset, yes, I think 300 is a great war movie.
I love Troy because of Brad Pitt saying Hector. Oh my God, what a great movie. I absolutely love it. And the whole thing about his cousin, wearing his armor and all that stuff. Oh my God, I can watch that movie
So if
all the time.
So if the war doesn't happen, but it was a threat, it was imminent,
right?
Like Top Gun. Is that a war movie? I mean, Maverick saved the day. They were off the grid. They were doing some things that were not supposed to be,
yeah,
part of the United Nations. They were doing some things, but they had MiGs. They were out there.
We're 5 weeks away from the sequel,
and I'm ready for it.
I spent some time working at a Radio Shack back when I was in high school, and it was on all the time. So I kind of got turned off by that movie because it was on all the time. I didn't work there very often. I mean, a few days a summer or so, but it was
soundtrack.
but man, just watching that movie on loop, it's kind of like the 40-Year-Old Virgin, where that guy's where Paul Rudd is upset about the Michael McDonald. I'm gonna burn this place down. If I hear Yamobi one more time, that's the way I felt when I was working that brief time at Radio Shack with an old family member of mine. How about a movie that has the name war in it? War Games with Matthew Broderick. Is that a war movie?
I think so, because I see that's the thing. If you stop the war from World War, right? You're at war. I do think it's a war movie because it's all predicated on saving the world from battle.
Right.
So the battle was cyber. He had to deal with a computer taking over and basically taking over the defense codes.
Yeah, I love that movie. The movie kind of holds up a little bit in a weird way. Hate to say this because it's a little creepy, but back in the day, she was my age. She's my age now, but she was my age back then also. Ali Sheedy. She was cute.
Breakfast Club, yes.
Yeah, not so much in the Breakfast Club because she played the basket case, but when she was in War Games.
Whoa, you seen a basket case can't be cute?
9 times out of 10, yeah. 9 times out of 10, the princess is cute, but not the basket case. Okay. That's like saying, is the geek in Anthony Michael Hall a good athlete? 9 times out of 10, no. Okay, that's why Emilio Estevez's character was there. But War Games, Ali Sheedy, she brought it good. I love that movie. It's a great movie. But let's end the show on this topic right here. Is this a war movie? Because you brought it up. Independence Day. I think you brought me over to the dark side. I think you're right. I think that actually is kind of a war movie.
It's the war movie of all war movies. We literally bonded with every country on Earth. And when I say on Earth, I'm not being hyperbolic, right? I mean, this is every nation coming together to fight against an alien force from another world with a mothership just right outside of our atmosphere that has cascaded these ships onto every land mass to take control. We had to band together through Morse code, by the way. There was a battle.
The best part was, oh my God, what's his name? When like, does anybody here have any pilot experience? And they're like, oh yeah, I got pilot experience. I dust crops. And then all of a sudden he's fighting in a jet going vertical, going vertical into the blue light to destroy it, to destroy the mothership. Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, he was trained, and you don't never know what a person would bring out a person if they were being attacked by the mothership.
I'm going to have to trust your word on that, man. Hey, this was a blast filling in for Rob and Jason. This is the Blitz. We're on the Sunday Sports Grill from 11 to 1. We will be back on Friday, more than likely, to do the Blitz. But coming up next, we have, coming up later on at 8 o'clock, the Utah Jazz and Memphis Grizzlies pregame show. This is ESPN San Antonio.
No ties for Dad this year. Give him what he really wants. Cash money.
Straight cash, homie.
That's right. Score $1,000 for Father's Day for your dad. Register now at ESPNSA.com. That's it. It's that simple. So put ties and socks away this year and score Dad some cash.